Greetings. Once again, you find yourselves at the table with the rest of these brave souls, facing the dark, wherever it may hide. Starting with...
I'm Mario. I'm playing Sasha of the Unseeing Eye. I am here. I'm ready to stop this guy getting whipped for apparently little to no reason. Let's do this.
And...
I'm Robert. I'm playing Greila, and whipping. Not that cool.
Furthermore...
I'm Jeff playing Kinku Monk Ranger, named Crack. And Mario, am I part of the problem?
You are part of the problem.
Oh yeah.
And what's more...
I'm playing Ed.
You're playing Ed?
I'm playing Ed the Ednificent.
Okay.
I'm Ed. I'm playing Siguror the Minotaur Barbarian. And I am totally ready to, well, I don't have the proficiency to throw hands, but throw steel, I guess.
You will likely throw something. As you've all covered,
Throw a chair.
when last you left off,
No,
you'd arrived at the Vistani camp. You had encountered an elven man who alluded to this being a bad time, coming face to face with a large, broad-shouldered man, mercilessly whipping a younger man. He may have been correct. Last time, when asked what was going on, the large man doing the whipping remarked that his daughter had been lost, and this was the young man's punishment. When you moved to interfere, the young man insisted that you stop, for their ways are different, and you must not make him look weak in front of not just the man doing the whipping, but a third man who is there currently watching, though he's more interested with the new arrivals than with what is going on. That is where we left it. The large, brash man turns and eyes Sasha curiously, though his eyes flitter about as if he is searching in his rage for adequate words to follow up. The slightly younger man standing
Why are
right
you whipping
next
this man?
to him
He
seems
told
less
us that.
angry and more curious.
I believe
But
that
he
was
doesn't
the
speak
last time.
yet.
I believe that was the last thing that was said.
I
Answer your
will
question.
say to him, regardless of this man's crimes, you cannot do this to him. You will kill him.
This spikes his rage. His eyes flitter more, and his mouth opens and closes as rage literally chokes his ability to talk back. It is at this point that the other man standing near him
Is he looking at
steps
me?
in. He is looking at
I'm
him.
going
Okay.
to.
Can I activate my my background feature?
What is that?
So the background feature, I'm gonna bring it up so that I
Okay.
don't misquote it.
Because something is about to happen, but your background feature may supersede it.
I want to go. Well, the guy is basically focusing on Sasha, right? So he's not paying attention to what I'm doing. I want to go and lay my hand on the guy and cast Cure Wounds on him.
The guy isn't focused on you, but the other guy is.
Which other guy? The small guy that was getting whipped?
No. There are
The
two
elf guy?
non-whippers.
Yeah.
One who is standing like here when you got here, and then the other who's doing the whipping, and then there's the young man who is being whipped.
I'm still gonna cast.
Does he seem to be dressed like differently or specially?
I'm curious that he's an elf. I didn't think there were many in this area.
No.
Yeah.
The elf is the person you talked to before
Yeah.
coming
Oh.
and meeting these people.
He's not with us though.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my feature, Heart of Darkness. Those who look into your eyes can see that you have faced unimaginable horror, that you are no stranger to darkness. Though they might fear you, commoners will extend you every courtesy and do their utmost to help you. Unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them, they will take up arms to fight alongside you. Should you find yourself facing an enemy alone. Basically, I just want to have him think twice about being pissed at me, kind of like an intimidate, but as part of my background feature.
And that's just
If
them
I
looking.
can hear that. Yeah, that's just them looking at me,
That's
and
damn.
they know that I am.
Damn.
They're like, holy shit, that guy is serious.
I guess that'd be
I
fair.
don't think
huh?
that's something that you activate. However,
Well, I wanted to bring it up because
it's
something that might change.
the other man places a hand on his angered companion and says, "Brother, I think perhaps it is best to leave Alessi for now. Look at him. He has not found his way to us by any coincidence. Perhaps the time for anger is later." This is interrupted by a shout of, "No, don't!" As you turn and you see that Greila has made her way over to the young man who actively swats you away.
It doesn't matter.
Damn.
You touch me, because that bitch is cured.
How does that work? If you try to heal somebody, it's like, no!
It doesn't.
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
The young man looks down
Combat.
and on the verge of fresh tears whispers, "No.
That's his own fault. He got cured for the max he could get cured for, which is which is 13. Yeah,
He keels over and begins sobbing.
that's Will's fault.
Oh my
If that bitch didn't want to get cured, he should have gone up
Oh
and
my
ran the
fuck.
fuck off.
The two guys walk off.
They
or
do
are
not.
just looking?
They look and then turn, or rather, the one that spoke of you turns and says, "Forgive me. Perhaps a proper introduction away from him would be in order. If you would follow us a little farther in, we can deal with this later. Yes." Yes.
Alright, I'll follow this guy.
They wait until all of you follow.
Yeah, we'll go.
What is the crowd's
They were literally.
general demeanor? Are they staring at the guy like they're gonna beat the shit out of him as soon as we leave?
Currently there is no crowd.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just the 3 people.
Okay.
A whipper and
Apologies.
the 2 non-whippies.
As you walk, the smell of wine is very heavy in the air, and you can hear soft, pleasant murmuring here and there, though the camp does seem a little on the barren side.
This is smaller than the last one we came across. At Madam.
I wouldn't say
Madam Avis.
I wouldn't say smaller than the last one you came across, but definitely less populated. But there aren't less wagons. There's less space.
Huh.
The shorter of the two men, once you move towards more of the center of the encampment, says, "Despite the circumstances you have come to us under, rest assured, we will treat you as a brother. I am Argal, and this is my brother, Luvash.
I nod to them both.
Unfortunately, we cannot extend our full hospitality to you because a great number of us are out at the moment. As you may have heard, we have lost one of our own. My daughter. Gone. And in these cursed lands, you know what that could mean.
So she's not confirmed to be dead.
I should hope not. We have many people out looking for her right now.
Please. It was Argyle and what?
Argal and Luvash.
And Luvash is the guy whose daughter's missing.
Yes.
Okay. Luvash, what happened to your daughter? You said it is the fault of that man, but I would know specifics.
He was the one who was supposed to be keeping watch. We were busy. out. When I came back, she was gone. And he nothing but apologies to hand me.
Okay. So he failed you, I understand this. But you do not know, as my companion has said, that she is lost forever. You have people looking for her. And, as your brother, I can help. I have come from quite far, and I'm good at finding things.
What do you mean? Yes, I too am curious. You were with travelers, but, well, someone like yourself looks like they lived here their whole life. You certainly have the wrinkles for it. I kid.
I will say, I have been gone, and I have returned. It occurred to me that casting a catapult wasn't necessarily a big show of magic.
Excuse me.
I will hold out my hand, use prestidigitation, and cause a sort of like an illusion, but like an image of a woman walking through the forest, and say, "I have learned the art. If there is a way of divining your daughter, I will do so. But you must give me more information." And I will close my hand and get rid of the image.
There is no information to give. She is gone, and I have been failed.
Seems awfully...
If you seek to help, then help. If not, we will take care of it.
I will say, you misunderstand me. I need to know more of your daughter, and then I can use my magics to find her.
Yes, of course. You
have something of hers.
It's just like we have heard. Like Strahd, Master Strahd is capable of. If this person is even half of a mage as he, then your daughter is not lost.
Okay, so straight up, Strahd is magic.
Grumbles, but says, "Fine." And he describes his daughter.
Okay.
And while it is noticeable that he adds in adjectives that are more descriptive than perhaps factual, a beautiful smile, dimpled cheeks, stout legs, a good runner.
Right, he gives me a
he does
pretty
give
long
you
description. Okay.
basic descriptors like hair color,
Right.
eye color,
Right.
height. You know that she is young. 7.
Okay, so it's a
Oh.
little
So,
girl.
little girl.
Okay.
I will ask if you possess something of her, a toy or an article of clothing. Something she carried with her all the time.
The smaller man goes, see? Yes, of course. And he goes, I believe so. Just a moment. He walks off towards one of the wagons. The man who remains with you says, that is quite impressive. It is actually very rare for the men of our family to learn such things.
I did not learn it here, if that is what you were wondering.
Oh, I was just curious. But it's very interesting. Tell me, what made you take up the art? Certainly it must have been a very difficult discipline to learn. Oh,
I wandered after the
forgive me. I have not properly taken the rest of your names, and that is a terrible shame.
Siguror.
Exotic. Perhaps from the north?
Clock.
And you?
Crack.
He's a man of few words. No offense taken on our part, though. My name is Greila.
Ah, an enchanting name.
Yeah, I don't want people hitting on it.
You're not gonna find people.
What is your standing amongst the group? Your group.
I am a leader, along with my brother. Our elders, unfortunately, passed prematurely. As such, we are the only ones left to take up leadership here. Though we have thrived nonetheless. And out of character, you heard a rumor about that, you specifically, and I know it's true.
What do you mean they passed prematurely?
Oh, just that this is a dark land. Though we be friends of the great lord up at his castle, we are unfortunately not immune to this land's other harms.
So they're murdered.
Or do they fall to the same fate as the little one?
Oh no, they did not disappear. It is truly tragic what had happened, and curious. The people of Vallaki do not bother us. At least they have not in quite some time, so...
As long as we do not enter.
As long as we do not enter. But we need them not. We can get our own wine and our own food.
That's true.
How close was that man to death when they were whipping him?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
That's why I healed him.
Yeah. I do find it odd that punishment, that your customs follow punishment of near murdering some of your own kinsmen. In ours, if somebody were to do something greatly egregious, we'd simply banish them and allow them to try and redeem themselves. And if they can come back.
Things are a bit harsher here than perhaps where you are from.
You can already ask.
Some prices can only be paid in blood.
Banishment out of a settlement is almost as good as death itself.
And then perhaps we must disagree. You see Luvash coming out of a wagon, and he's walking towards you with something in hand, like small, maybe some kind of toy. But he's a little ways off. And tell me, what brings you to this land? I had started asking about you, but I suppose I should ask about you as a whole. Presuming that you travel together?
We do travel together. I did not come to this land by choice. So.
The others were trapped here. I returned after my training was complete to assist my brothers. There are people here who, as you know, do not appreciate our presence and our favored nature. And of course, while they say we can just leave, there are those amongst our elders who do not wish it to be so. Ava and others.
Interesting. And how exactly do you presume to change that?
I'm not sure yet. But I cannot sit idly by and watch others suffer. I'm sure you feel the same way.
His eyes linger on you for a little while before it breaks, and Luvash returns and holds a stuffed rabbit doll and says, "Here, this was hers."
Okay. I will take it, I will look it over. I don't actually have the kind of divination spells I would need to use this to find her, but I still need it. Well, as it were.
It's like scrying is too high level.
Yeah.
That's what these guys think you have. Like, oh, yes, of course.
Possess scrying.
Powerful sorcerer.
I don't possess locate object, which is a spell my level.
Yeah. I can cast it, but I need to re-prepare my spells, which means I have to wait for my
If
holy time.
maybe she had something that she always kept on her.
Well, yeah,
at all
that's
times.
what I asked.
Well, I mean, something she might have had on when she was taken. We could also ask
I
the
did
guy.
that as part of the.
Well, we could also ask the guy that was whipped because he was the last person to see.
He might not have seen her.
We don't know.
They just
That's why
said
we
that
investigate
she
next
was
time.
on
Yeah,
guard.
It is unlikely that he saw her taken, as he has not referred to that in any of his dialogue. He has implied that he lost her, not that
But
he let her be
having
taken.
the doll is still a good thing because we can.
Give it to her if we find her to get her to trust us.
Well, I mean, we can still use it for other stuff.
Does anybody have anything to do with controlling animals of any sort?
I do not. I can talk to animals though, actually. Pretty sure I have. Oh, and I have animal friendship, so it won't control them, but it will make them our friend.
Because I was thinking if we had something that can like follow something scent, that could be useful.
Yeah. Yeah. The divination spells I can prepare augury and locate objects.
Which is one thing I was thinking of because the guy who was with might have seen her that day, and if she has like a necklace or some other type of jewelry.
Augury is like you ask a question and you get one of three responses, either wheel, woe,
Locate
or
object has a range, and we'd have to
something.
wait till the next time we take a long rest. Which by that point she might be she could be too far away for locate object to work on.
Yeah.
Because it does have a pretty big radius, but it's not like
It's 1,000 feet.
It's worth putting on the board, but
we need a more immediate solution. I will ask the bush.
Do they have a bunch of horses around? Like the other place?
you've heard some horses. You haven't seen them yet.
You gotta go talk to the horses.
I
Hey,
could.
that's not a bad idea.
Horse
the bush.
whisperer.
Is there anyone who has who might? Do you have any enemies? Anyone who might seek to see you have harm done to you?
Any who hate our blood, which are numerous in this land, given the protection we suffer.
I meant aside from that. Although, out of character, yeah, I totally get that, but yeah, I mean, you know.
If I had anyone that I could lay as a suspect, I would have gutted them already.
Understandable. Got a fucking Liam Neeson motherfucker up over here.
Sasha.
Nice.
I'll whisper down so they don't hear. Might be prudent to mention the watchers to them if they are. If these.
I think that's a bad.
If they are followers of Strahd, as they claim to be.
I don't think
the
Strahd
Baron
would
thinks.
What are you talking about? Yes, surely if this concerns this, there should be no secrets.
Nothing. He was just asking
What?
about something.
What is it?
I was thinking it might be prudent to, if Sasha here is going to be asking you questions and using his magics, it might be prudent for us to walk around the camp and see if there might be the most likely place she could have been taken from.
So is that deception?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I guess that would. Yeah, I guess that would be.
totally not what you said.
Yeah, I guess that would be lying.
That's absolutely lying. They asked what you said. You said not what you said.
I was about to ask if maybe I'd misunderstood you.
Damn. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it did though.
Can't really try to tune anything. So, roll, I suppose.
Yeah. He beat me to it, but I
17.
I think they'd roll insight.
Yeah.
but I'm looking for something else. Yeah, they'll believe that. We've already torn the camp apart and found nothing. We have everyone that we can spare out looking for her right now, and I won't suffer any more questions or dallying. If you have the sorcery to find her, then find her, and if not, then leave.
Surely a couple extra eyes can't hurt.
I will put
Yes,
my hand up.
as the lady has said, certainly no harm could be done from them looking around if that is what they desired.
I will.
Please, wherever you need to look.
Thank you.
Though I will say that it has been a little while, and more of our kind are likely to return soon from looking. So, do not get the wrong idea about our numbers. Should you perhaps have other motives?
I'm not here to appraise your defenses.
Out of character, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Numbers. I'm not here to appraise their numbers.
Right, but you actually are lying again because that's what we're here to do. Rickton asked us to come here and find out what was going on with
Okay.
the
But
Vistani.
that's not
What did you mean when you said that?
their population. I don't care how many of them are here. Because I don't. Because we're not here for that. We're not here specifically. We're here to investigate them.
If that's what you meant, then okay.
That's okay. That seems weird.
We're just here to investigate them, not...
Oh, I just find it
How
weird
many
that
people
you're
do you have?
saying
How many
exactly
how many
what
women?
is
How many
true.
children?
Yeah,
Minus the one.
but we are here to investigate them, so I think it's weird that you're saying we're not here to investigate them.
Do you have many animals in your camp?
We have a great number of horses.
Nothing else? No dogs or anything?
No, not currently. There's the occasional bear that wanders through. Maybe a wolf on the hillside, but that is just the consequence of living in nature. Why do you ask?
Could you take me to them? Maybe. I gotta check them.
An odd request, but alright. I could do that. Will the rest of you be going as well, or do you have other places to look?
I'm going to spend some time investigating. As soon as I know anything, or as soon as I know anything, I will tell you, Luvash. And I will find your daughter. First thing I'm going to
Actually, if you are going to be investigating around the camp, my brother Luvash will join you. I will go along with the rest of them to go see the horses.
Do you need another pair of hands?
I should be fine.
This is acceptable, yes? Luvash nods and then moves with Sasha as Argal says, "Now, over this way are the horses that you seek. I'll have you know they're very well bred and serve our family exclusively. We won't be parting with any of them. That's what you're looking for.
No, I'm not trying to purchase them.
I mean, we already have walked in with horses.
What we will part with,
Two horses.
what we will part with, are something that might be a little more useful. Yeah, you said you were trapped here, yes?
I will turn to him and I will say, that will not be necessary.
Zavin's like after you.
Okay.
Like,
Make sure
you
you're
could
away.
you could shout across like maybe 20 feet. That's not necessary, but like
No, Greila already knows. So it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Okay, what was the last thing you said? We do have something that might be more useful to you.
yes. But first,
I think I know what it is.
where in particular is Sasha going?
Well, I'm not going anywhere right away. The first thing I want to do is roll investigation on the doll to see if there's anything I can figure out about it. It's not a Blinksy toy, or Binksy? What is his name?
Blinksy. And
Blinksy?
actually, it is. As you start looking over it, there is a tag that reads, "Is no fun, is no Blinksy."
Huh.
which is how I read it in the book.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably not supposed to be said like that, but I read it like that.
All right.
Like that tone. I assume it's Blinksy, because that's how it's spelled.
And that's the toy maker, right?
That's
his-
that.
Okay.
That's the toy maker with the monkey. With Von Richten's monkey.
It's pretty interesting.
I will say. Luvosh, where was she before she disappeared? Do you know her last known location?
I do not.
No, that is fine. Who was the last one to see her?
It would be the boy.
The boy?
I'm not certain if anyone else has seen her.
Which boy? The one you whipped, or another boy?
Yes.
Okay. I will go. I will go speak to this boy, but for me to get information from him, he will need to be in a calm state of mind. Can you contain yourself? I know that in your situation, I would find it difficult as well. But if you want to find your daughter, you are going to need to keep a cool head, okay?
We will see.
Fine. And I'm gonna go talk to the boy.
Sounds like to me he's more interested in being angry and
It
fighting
is
someone.
not too long of a walk before you come back to the boy left, well, quite appropriately, where he was left. Only he
Is
is
he
still
still on
sobbing
the ground?
into the dirt.
Yeah, he's still crying.
Okay. Is he like how old is this boy?
Teenager, maybe 16, 17.
16, 17? Alright, I'm gonna grab him
So,
by the
age.
arm and I'm gonna lift him up because I assume he's still on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna lift him up
And he goes, "Ugh."
and I will say, boy, what is your name?
I am Alexi.
Alexi? You must calm down if we are to find did he give us the name of his daughter?
Huh.
No.
Okay. I will turn to Lavash. What is your daughter's name?
No.
I thought Argyle was the one missing his daughter.
Arabelle.
No. Argyle is the small one.
Is it?
Poor
Yes.
Arabelle. It's all my fault.
And I will place a hand upon his shoulder and I will say, your sobbing will not find her. If you help us find her, perhaps some of the shame you've brought upon yourself will be washed away, yes? And I will turn to Luvash
Yes.
and I will say,
Yes, of course.
if you will answer you will answer my questions truthfully, and if you are lying, I will know.
I would never. I would never.
As I say this, I'm going to encant Si, Dedici, Pecto. And I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Ooh.
And I will. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read his and Luvash's surface thoughts.
Oh, to area?
I see, yeah.
Damn. I thought it was just
Yeah.
fire.
I think I remember like last time it came. He didn't ask, what are my companions thinking?
Well, I don't want to be a
If he
dick,
had,
but-
I could have told him.
Also, I'm an asshole. What do they think?
Yeah.
Well, it gives us
The
more
surface
time
thoughts that you get from Alexei are about how he just feels so awful, been disgraced twice, helped by outsiders, and losing Arabelle in the first place. How could I? How could I? How could I?
Okay.
And yes,
Twice disgraced.
being helped and
go. Okay, I thought you meant like in
But
the
in the
past.
reverse order.
We've been helped by strangers.
and you get surface thoughts from Luvash that are my daughter is missing. How could he? He should be dead. No, that would be too quick. What is he doing? I hope this works.
Okay.
I couldn't stand to lose her.
I will say to Alexi, tell me, when was the last time you saw Arabelle?
It was earlier this morning. Right before some of us left to go hunt.
Okay.
She was playing.
Alright. Basically, for the purpose of this interrogation, I'm only gonna double check. Basically, only tell me if something he's telling me doesn't match up with what I'm reading. I don't need the play-by-play of all his thoughts.
That's what I'll do.
I am going to ask him, has anyone been watching her around the camp or when you've been away?
No.
No one?
No one's suspicious. She
No
is a
one.
happy child, and she's had others dote on her, as they always have.
Upon leaving the camp, are there any places you know she likes to go?
She's not allowed to leave the camp. She knows very little of what else is in this land.
Okay.
Luvash has thought it's been too dangerous.
Luvash is smart. I will say, in the camp, is there any place she is a child, she runs and she plays, where does she normally go?
For what it's worth, you do catch like an errant thought about werewolves and wolves being more active lately in like Luvash's mind when he mentions like it's too dangerous. Like a thought from him like especially recently.
Right. Yeah, she could have been attacked by werewolves.
Little tidbit. Whether it is relevant depends. She liked to play around the horses, and she would sometimes play around. His name is escaping me, but one of the elves has housing over towards the beginning area of the camp where you may have come in.
Huh.
She would sometimes go there and talk about how they looked funny.
Okay. I will say...
And out of character, you passed it. So you're
Yeah,
like, oh, I remember.
the elf camp. I will say, following up on what Ludovish said, out of character, do I know when the last full moon was?
No.
Okay. I will say, when was the last moon in the sky full?
Maybe 2 weeks back.
Did anyone disappear? Leave that night? Luvosh, you can answer as well if you know.
No. No one.
Here? What about at the Elven camp? Do you know if anyone disappeared?
They did not. We keep a very close eye on them, as we have been bid.
Yes. Okay, so no one in the camp is probably a secret werewolf. She could have just wandered off.
With her
Does she have any? Does she have any friends she plays with? Maybe someone her age.
Lexi thinks for a bit. Says, I don't believe so. Luvash says, there are no other children at the camp. It is something I regret, but...
Not enough people been fucked in. And I'll say at the Elven camp as well.
At the Elven camp as well. And they will likely never have any. Given their lot.
Is he calling them all fugly or like?
I think they're all guys.
What
No.
is that? Oh.
You catch a surface thought. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, they're
You
all
catch
men?
a surface thought where he refers to how there are no women among them. With the implication that that's important, but his surface thought doesn't recount the whole history to himself. It just goes, yeah.
That's weird.
Like, it's a fact.
Well, he's mentioned other people who've gone
You know,
missing.
if you
Are they
want, you can
female
cut
too?
to them, and then I can, once I formulate some more questions, to
Sounds
like
like-
give me a minute.
An excellent idea.
Okay, thanks.
You said you were trapped here, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I do not wish to kindle hope too easily, but we may have the solution to your problems.
I have heard of what you're about to try to sell me on already, and I'll tell you before, I did not buy it then, and I will not buy it now.
No?
No.
You will not. You will not buy freedom. In many other lands, it is much more difficult to buy freedom with coin than it is here.
We have been appraised that there is no potion that allows us to safely traverse the fog.
What? By your companion?
And others.
Well, I assure you, any others may misspeak. Not to speak ill of a brother, but he's been away for a while. Perhaps he is thinking of older generations that did not possess the truest of magics.
Look,
I like our guy.
he's good.
You are now slowly coming to a hilltop that is covered with steaming piles of horse dung.
Great.
More than 24 horses
I don't know.
are tethered to stone blocks inside this circle of wagons, but outside a tent. Most of the animals are draft horses, by Graila's assessment, but a few of them are riding horses equipped with saddles.
Okay. I am going to approach the animals. I'll speak with the animals as a ritual.
While Graila's doing that, since that takes... Rituals take
10 minutes.
10? Right, okay. Mention to Craft, do you know anything about looking for...
He's asking if you have survival check.
Yeah, basically, if you know what to look for if somebody were to take somebody from the camp.
You said no.
No? Alright, then I suppose I'll just keep my head on a swivel and start looking for good spots for somebody to be taken.
You have survival?
Alright.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I have
I'll
two,
take
I'll
either
do
a
it.
survival or perception check from you, if you'd like.
He does have perception, though.
Both are the same.
Well, I take it from either of you, or even both of you. Meanwhile, you are casting upon the horses.
Okay,
Or
no, you
have
cast
one
on
horse.
yourself and allow you to speak.
You can
with
say,
them.
okay, yeah.
She's casting Dr. Doolittle.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you get?
About 14.
What did you get?
A 5.
And
Oh, you want me to roll?
what are you asking?
Okay, so he gave us a general description of the little girl when we were still in his presence, right?
Yeah.
I'll describe the girl to the horses and ask if they have seen her recently. If she was around them. Even with the low intelligence, they should understand.
There's a very strong black draft horse that does understand. Clarifies, saying, the little one, yes.
When last did you see her?
This morning.
Was she alone? Did you see where she went?
Trying to think if the horse nods. Yeah.
Is he the fuck is it called? When
Tethered?
Tethered, yeah. To
Yeah.
the post. Oh. I'll untether him and I'll ask him to lead me to where he last saw the girl.
Hold on. What are you doing?
It's part of the investigation. I'm not taking your horse. You'll still have him. Can you not hear me talking to the fucking horse?
He was kind of looking at your
Oh.
other comrades,
Okay.
giving also giving Ismark and Irina like the eye, but
Yeah.
like
Oh, they went with
that's
them?
yeah,
Okay.
they didn't follow you.
So, I mean, who knows?
Fair enough. I
Maybe
don't want to
there's...
be alone with Ludovic
Or
either.
hell,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
there's
not a dick.
signs that if she was scooped up somewhere, something might have left something.
Well, that's why I'm asking the horse to take me where he last saw her.
Ah, fair.
And like he breaks. He's like, well, I'm showing you around like any good host would. So I suppose just be careful with him. He can be a little free spirited.
Okay.
So
Seems nice to me.
Yeah. Anyway, so the draft horse, they lead me where he last saw her.
He can, and he will.
Okay.
Argo, like, kind of just jogs because the horse doesn't, like, go super fast as you move. And I'm curious, do you guys also go with?
Did Shep bring up anything?
Well, I'm going to cover that before you move either way.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I will cover it now because I might as well. Looking, said you got 14 and you got
5.
Okay. Crack doesn't see anything. Didn't really see anything like right here that is particularly obvious as far as special or not special. Siguror finds several places where someone could potentially come from and not be spotted immediately, given the positioning of not just the forest around them, but also some of the wagons. Though...
Because it would also need to be a place where if somebody were to grab somebody, it'd be hard to hear them too.
Well, maybe not. As you're scanning like around, you once again catch a whiff of wine, and at first it wasn't that big of a deal, but like even here where there's a ton of horse dung, like the smell of wine isn't overpowered. And perhaps perhaps it wouldn't have been as difficult for someone to take someone if without being heard than it might have been otherwise.
Okay.
If everybody,
especially if some of them were out hunting.
Right.
People are out hunting, and if a lot of people are drunk, screaming might just be seen as, they're too drunk.
Maybe.
Okay.
You ride the horse, and you're riding across camp. There's some somewhat tipsy Vistani who like watch, and then Argyle waves and says, "I pay no mind."
Okay.
And he's continue onward. Meanwhile,
Okay. Have any other Vistani gone missing, particularly any women?
no, not recently.
It's Arabelle, right?
Yes.
Okay. Has Arabelle ever expressed dissatisfaction with her being stuck in camp?
No. No, she is not.
Lavosh?
Never. And you get like a surface thought from Luvosh about how she is like any child. She talks about going places, but not dissatisfied. He does not clarify vocally, however.
Right. The elves, they're only men here. Have any of them expressed?
I'm trying to ask if there's an elf.
Well, it's a question.
The elves keep to themselves mostly, yes?
Yes. They've been with us for quite some time. I have heard. I have heard ever since the murder of Valencia.
Who's Valencia?
Luvosh clarifies. A bride of Strahd's.
Well, I'm glad they don't have to take thoughts. We're all like, good.
Oops.
She met an untimely end, which led to the elves being very harshly punished. No doubt you know that his lordship is wrathful.
Yes.
The elves
I'm sure.
also following?
No, and in fact, probably means kind of the opposite. I am guessing one of the elves was supposed to be Strahd's bride, and some of the elves killed her to spare her being turned into a vampire or something, and he flipped out and killed all the women, and it's like, you will now die out slowly.
I'm fucked.
It's probably something like that. If I can guess. I will ask, are the hunting times, the times, the changing of the guard and the ordering of the watch, are these common knowledge? And if it is not, who would know these things?
They're common knowledge amongst us.
That fucking doesn't help at all. Alright,
It is
my
seeming
spell's
more and
probably
more
gone
like
off.
it's not something on the inside.
Right. Okay.
And while it is a little far off, you see one of your party members like riding a horse, a nice big black draft horse, and you see like the rest of your party and Argo jogging with them. It's like kind of off, or at least that's what it sounds like from like your ear. And while it's just horse riding at first, the fact that you get like a heads up nuzzle from Sakar, and you hear like someone like what?
Actually,
what? You're like okay.
So my grandma pointed out that it was wrong again. It's Sahar.
Oh, she's still watching. How nice of her. Unless she just heard you from you saying it, like in front of her. In which case, whatever.
I will change that.
You might ask if he was where he was supposed to be when he was on guard, or if he got distracted by something.
Probably drunk.
Not a bad idea. When you were guarding the camp, where were you when she was taken?
I was over there outside that wagon to the east. And you catch the thoughts. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I don't know how it could have happened. I could have sworn that I had seen her, but some of the men came by asking, if I wanted to stop, and I told them no because I was on guard, and they understood. And the next time I went to look for her, since it had been a while, I couldn't find her.
Boy.
And you catch like specific names of a couple of people that like he knows and he's seen around.
Well.
And yet you lost her still. I'm getting fed up with this questioning. I thought you were going to use your magic to find my daughter.
I am using my magic. Are you a wizard? No? That's what I thought.
Shut the fuck up.
You know from his surface thoughts, were you not Vistani and he not desperate, he would murder you.
No, he can fucking do. If he wants to go, I'll go.
What if he's barbarian? Wait, NPCs, no classes, right?
Even if it
NPCs
was.
can still fight.
Yeah.
He can still fight.
Especially.
I'm just saying, Sasha's not going to take shit from this guy. About his magic. So, I will say, well, it appears as if Greila has some sort of lead. I think. I would still like to go and speak to the elves. They might have seen something. I'm sure you already spoke to them, but
Move on. Meanwhile, the horse takes Greila to the front of a wagon, like to the west. There's some Vistani who are just kind of chilling out on the front steps of said wagon. They look, but then resume their conversation as Argo catches up and.
This is where the horse stops?
Yes.
This is where you last saw her?
Yeah.
And she was alone.
There were a couple others.
A couple other of the human?
They were around.
They have normal ears or pointy ears?
There were a couple of these. And
Okay.
by these, it kind of gestures to
Humans?
Vistani.
Okay.
You get the feeling it means Vistani specifically.
I have a question out of character, just based on my questioning, but it's not really pertinent. Do all humanoids look the same to horses?
Well,
Anyway,
In your experience, probably.
okay.
It's more like demeanor that separates them.
Okay.
that one's scary.
Do they stroke me and call me pretty and talk about how I deserve to be free? Or do they ride me as hard as they can and then complain when I get tired?
This.
Are they heavier? Are they lighter?
I wish.
These are ways horses tell.
Do they feed
Was
you
not
good
so
food?
much innuendo when David's talk.
Well, it's a horse.
I know.
It is regrettable with horse. It is regrettable with horses.
Okay. Did any of those that were with her, could you recognize them specifically from the others of their kind? Do they have any, are they wearing something in particular, or, like, horses understand clothes, they understand saddles, right? They gotta understand saddles.
Well, they probably don't know what clothes are.
Yeah, but not like super specifically.
Okay.
What you're probably going to get back is it could if it like sniffed like every one of them. And it was like,
really?
maybe.
I can't have them round up everyone and be like, hey horse, smell all these good people.
Why not?
I asked the horse to smell these ones though and see if any of these were the ones that were with her.
Okay. And it moves forward and starts like sniffing, or one, and the guy like, oh hey, good boy, and then he like turns and starts sniffing on the other one, and the other one, it's like, what's wrong?
Oh, he's asking me what's
Yes.
wrong? Oh, the horse is just curious, I think. I wouldn't pay too much mind. I was told that it is slightly unruly by Argyle, so I assume it's just doing what it likes.
It wouldn't be the first time. It's no wonder they didn't take you out to search with them. The horse like finishes. It's like,
Okay. It's just two people? Okay. Let's see. Can I use perception to look for tracks of a child? Since it's the only one, its footprints would be small and...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually
I'll see why not.
I was wondering, when you speak with animals, do you talk like Dr. Doolittle, or do you talk
This
to
came
them
up in
like
an earlier session.
Yeah.
Talk to them normally.
Oh, common. Okay. You
Fuck,
survival
man.
see,
Can I roll
like,
with
find
the-
tracks of things that look different than Vistani. Basically something that does not belong in the camp.
Greila has turned her attention to tracks, and you, having a special insight of your own, may also.
Can I roll with advantage, David? Because I rolled really bad. And I did go
Do you
to
have
where she
inspiration?
was. Oh, I do.
was willing to
Actually,
take that.
yeah, I'll use my
You do have
inspiration.
inspiration. You can do it on advantage. Wait. Do you all still have inspiration? Because I could have sworn you all got inspiration
I
from
believe-
playing
Them all to rest, but I
the
think I
two to
used
rest.
mine.
I just forget
Yeah,
who
fine.
You're
used.
right. I just didn't write mine down.
Yeah, I think I erased mine, which means I believe I used it.
Okay, then you can have advantage because you already learned something that may be important.
I got a 19
Okay.
for my survival check.
Sure.
You don't have a D20.
It's gone. I'll find it later. It's probably just misplaced. Okay. And you said insight? Or survival?
You were
perception?
rolling survival.
Gotcha.
You were in the middle of asking, "Do you want insight?" when I said something else.
Apologies. 20.
So
I got a 19.
you do find like some child tracks that you can follow. They are old, like pretty old.
Not from this morning?
They could be from this morning.
Okay.
Like it's getting towards like dusk time.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it took hours to get here. I forgot.
Plus you did the other stuff.
Yeah. Are the tracks leading into the camp or out of it?
They are leading into the camp.
Oh. Well, we're gonna follow them anyway, so. Because it's the last place that she was seen, supposedly.
You spot the tracks as well. However, you notice that they're like some are a little deeper than others, and the way that some of them are spaced, you pick up on the fact that these were like. It sounds a little silly, but like joyful steps.
Skipping?
Kinda. Like it make like either skipping or like maybe half stepping, closer to frolicking.
Okay, and they're also going in?
Yeah.
Alright.
She was pretty cool here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that means it didn't happen here. Because if she's happy...
Yeah.
Okay.
Or unless she wandered off on her own, or something like enchanted her into going out of camp.
Towards morning here, she was fine.
Yeah.
That's a good time to start following then.
I do kind
Fair
of
enough.
feel like we should check the wagon that we're near at some point, but
Come back to it.
You could also.
So I'm going to go to talk to the elves, but as I do that, I'm going to begin ritual casting Detect Magic.
Okay.
To see if I get any pings on anything. And once I reach the elves, I'm going to try to find that one I talked to originally. When we first came into camp.
He gave his name and I did not write
That
it
is
down.
pretty easy, as that is whom you are taken to.
Where's that Matrieve? That tree?
I have... Actually, no. It is something different. I believe you meant a Dusk Elf. You are taken to a specific Dusk Elf. As the Wash says, "A visitor. I wish to speak to you. It's supposed to help find my daughter." The elf says, "Oh, then of course, by all means, please. Come sit." The inside of the house is filled with a number of minor baubles that are here and there, though none are magical, as you know. Yes. If you would allow me to introduce myself, I am Casimir Velikov, and I am your humble servant for whatever you need.
VALA.
Oh, actually, you did get a ping, and that he is. You know that he's wearing a magic ring, and it's less because of the ping and more because Siguror takes note of it.
Sahara.
But he also has a book like yours.
Oh.
Really? And how do you spell his last name? VALA.
VEL.
VL.
VEL.
Okay, VEL.
IKOV.
Velikov. Okay. Sorry, I thought I heard Dollar. I will say. Well met, Casimir. And I will point to his book and I will say, "Are you a student of the art as well?"
Oh, yes. What I have been able to learn.
Then I assume you used what magic you had at your possession to attempt to find Arabelle?
Yes, of course. Out of character, how long does Detect Thoughts last?
Unfortunately, it's out. It lasts a minute.
Okay. There are like some minor tidbits is why I was asking. You didn't miss like a huge part of the case or anything.
No,
Just
that's
heads
fine.
up.
Trust me, if I had another spell slot, I'd recast it. But I don't. So,
This sounds from LA Noir. It's that you missed a hint.
shut up. I will say to him, what did you attempt already? Just so that we did not overlap in resources.
I'm afraid my magics are not very well suited to searching.
Yes. Well, that's just fine. I will say to him, who of your camp saw Arabelle last?
I would not know. I remember seeing her maybe towards midday when some of the people had left. As I told you, Luvash, hunting, it is a duty that needs to be done. I definitely see no fault. Luvash growls. But that was the last I saw of her. Maybe, I think she was close to where the horses were kept. But that is more of a guess. I saw her passing from the center of the camp. I nodded. I was a little preoccupied with...
Do you know of anyone in your camp who has taken an interest? Formed a friendship with the girl? Someone she would trust?
Oh.
They
No,
could help
I
me.
wouldn't say that.
I would.
There are some that enjoy her company, but no more than that of a fellow.
Right.
Luvash growls at this and adds his own commentary. Yes, though it is ridiculous, they have nothing to fear from her. Sometimes I feel others are distant.
Why would you say this?
Because of what I said. They have nothing to fear from her, and yet they act as if being too close may be misunderstood.
I will turn to...
Certainly an irrational fear. Why would anybody be afraid of befriending the daughter of one of our wise leaders?
That we were forced to be a part of.
From his temperament, and you're starting to think that maybe he's like this all the time.
Right.
Maybe a little less.
So people stay away from his daughter
Yeah.
because he's an asshole, not because they know something that I don't.
With how other people have acted around him.
Okay,
I
so I
think
thought
maybe. After all,
She knows
the
something
both
about-
of them lead this place, not just one of them. Perhaps that's for a reason.
Okay. I will say...
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Either finding some tracks or casting a locate object. I mean, I have investigation. Can I just roll that to talk to people and try to figure out if anyone has any information that anyone might have missed? I mean, it's for investigating stuff.
You can. You've already been doing that for the most part. This would be like taking a dragnet to the rest of the people around, unless there were specific people of interest you wanted to target, but there
I
kind
can't,
of aren't
think
really.
of any, so I'm gonna try to
Gather everybody in the square.
of course.
Shout out questions after ritual casting detect thoughts. And all the ones that stand
I
out.
can't ritual cast it, otherwise I would.
Oh.
15. No, 16 on my investigation.
Have you seen
Just
this?
talking to everyone else and seeing if there's any information anyone might have missed.
That's gonna take a while, so I'll switch over.
How long? Would it take an hour?
I'd say at least an hour.
Since I'm just talking to people,
Because you'd
can
be
I
going
get that as a
from
short
place
rest?
to place. No. Because you're not exactly sure who you're dealing with, and you've picked up more than just a hint that these people are pro-Strahd, so you don't really relax. There are often times where you're inside a wagon with 5 other people, and they are armed for whatever it's worth.
Alright, okay. That's fine.
What
How peaceful.
There's a point maybe 30 minutes in where more people return. Some people return from searching,
what the
and
hell's
you
that
also
book?
include them.
It's a kind of of specific to Barovia.
Okay.
Also, while I'm talking to them, would it be possible to use my any of my knowledge skills to try to figure out if there is a sort of monster or creature that might have kidnapped her?
To use your which skill to determine?
I have every skill: Arcana, religion, nature, and history.
I don't think so, because you could probably come up with a list of what possibly could pretty easily, but without like.
Well, I was hoping between my investigation and talking to people, I could narrow a list down. Like, okay, maybe it's not a hag, maybe it's but if I can't, if I don't have enough information for that, that's fine.
Nah, then maybe.
If we find the location, we'll designate you to it.
Okay.
But while that questioning is happening, you follow the tracks to a barrel-topped wagon that has a number of voices coming from inside, though they sound to be of mostly female and younger. And when Argo catches up with you, he says, you're over towards one of the family wagons.
We have found
Tracks that belong to the girl from
You have.
this morning. So we're following them, and this is where they've led us so far.
And out of character, this is where they stop.
This is where they stop?
Okay.
Do they stop at, like, the step of the wagon?
No.
Or
They stop kind of like in front of the wagon, and then there are other like footsteps elsewhere of other people's that like start to intermingle with it.
Okay.
So you kind of lose the track here.
we could try and circle around in different directions, see if we can spot the tracks again. If you want.
Do you think it might be worth trying to question these guys? Because if there are other kids, they might have been playing.
There are no other kids. She's the only child.
No, they did. They mentioned in town that
There are no other children. The younger voices that I said are coming from inside sound like a little older, like maybe teenage.
Okay. We can question the people here, Siguror, and if nothing comes of
I can
it,
keep looking.
yeah, we'll circle around and look for the tracks. They got muddled here, but
I am not much for talking.
okay. I'll tell Argyle I'm gonna go into the wagon and question the people inside. Then the tracks that muddled it, they look roughly teenager-ish.
Some teenage, some adult.
Oh, okay.
People have just been through here.
Okay.
Are we good with the horse?
There's nothing else you know, horse, correct? That you basically, he already told me the last time he saw her was over at the other wagon that he led us to, and that she was alone. Instead of asking it anything, I'm just gonna tell it thank you. Or
Could I ask what dangers it's seen or smelled?
You thank it.
yeah. Oh,
It
did
headbutts
you?
you.
It what?
But, like it headbutts you, but like gently.
Okay.
And then it like starts rooting around in one of your pockets.
And
I want food.
if I have any apples or anything like that, or carrots, I'll give any kind of vegetation that won't be harmful to the horse. I'll give it some.
Oh wait, we have rations of wolf.
Yeah,
We
no,
have other
wolf.
rations, so.
We do
That'd
have
be a
other
good idea.
rations.
While you were willing to offer it, a portion of some of your other rations are eventually found and taken.
Okay,
So you're not resisting the horse, so that has to do with its success.
Okay.
It takes what it wants, and then it starts wandering.
Wait,
back
before
towards where it's supposed to go.
I'll yell to the horse. You didn't smell anything non-human
Dangerous.
around, did you, or anything dangerous?
You get a snort.
Do I take that snort as a no?
You think it's a no because it doesn't elaborate.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll head into the wagon.
You head into the wagon. What will Crack and Siguror be doing?
I'll point out what we've been following and to Crack, we're looking to see if we can find another trail. We've lost it and see the next place she ran to. Try and give him at least a little bit of hint of what's going on.
Is there anything else that Crack might want to do?
Well, that's Argo, if in character, if there's been any known dangers around here recently.
Okay, like while you're looking.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
16.
You got 16. What about you?
I got 21.
You got 21. You ask. Argo starts talking about, oh, well, there are numerous. These lands are quite dangerous. There are witches in the woods, wolves about, some that can turn into a man and then back again, and creatures far more fearsome. I hear that there are zombies, ghosts, specters of all kinds. In fact, I've heard that there are also ghosts that come from it was a temple, or perhaps it was some kind of fortress. People who fell to Strahd, as many do.
We have been acquainted.
I also asked him if, what kind of defenses does this camp have?
What?
We've already.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking into.
They.
Oh, what a question! What a question! I think you'll find perhaps the best defense there is in this land, along with a healthy dose of tact.
We literally said we didn't come here to do this, and you're like, hang on, what?
Questions?
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
Also,
Indeed, Crack has his own objectives.
Just
Uh, to which Argo responds cheekily, perhaps expectantly. Good questions. Perhaps you'll find the answers you seek, as well as your questions, right after this. And we return. And just in time to catch some of the hunting party. Or some of the search party. In that part of your investigation includes a time where about 5 Vistani return from the woods. They have brush on them, muddy boots. They've been looking. One of them, an older woman, maybe like a little shy of middle-aged, shakes her head at Argal as Argal looks expectantly. Well, it's no good. We've found nothing. No one is out, save for that drunken fool. Yes. You didn't find her? And she turns. We have visitors. I am Avalon, and I refer to the town drunk from Valaki, the only one foolish enough to be wandering out, day or night.
Ha!
We found nothing other than him, and he kept to himself. That is usually his way. As you guessed, we have travelers. I will let you get acquainted. He's taking, he's asking around the camp because he hopes to help us find Arabelle as well. Most generous. Very well. We can talk with you next. And it's about the time where you'd covered most of the camp. So okay, you can do that.
I'll ask him where they searched and if they had a trail they were following, if they know of anything that might have taken her, standard stuff.
She tells you that it would be much easier if there were a trail, but we have not found one. It is very strange. No matter how hard we search, we cannot find any tracks of hers leaving camp, and we have not found any evidence saying that something has come into the camp, at least without our notice. We've done our best. Our party was searching out near Lake Zarvich, which is, and you think you remember from the map. It's fairly close, maybe a few miles off, and down towards the crossroads that lead out towards the longer road to Berez, and a different road that leads towards the Wizard of Wines, though that is a little farther.
You know what we didn't ask? Did we ask that guard guy if anyone had left in between, around the time the girl went missing? Like any of the villagers?
Meanwhile, you find it first. You are a little busy, talking with Argyle, so you hit on it, and your thing technically happens before this, because you kind of, and then you come back towards, or at least you will later. There are a bunch of footprints all around the wagon, which you've already established. It's not so strange, but there are some drag marks. Not feet drag marks, but wide and kind of not cross-hatched, but it's kind of patchy. Fabric was drug.
Like somebody trying to cover their tracks.
Or a sack being
maybe.
drugged.
It sticks out. It's towards the rear end of the wagon, and it stands out compared to all the other footsteps. However, these are also a little old, so it'd be pretty easy to miss.
But does it also seem like this would be a good spot to grab somebody?
Not really, because if there are people inside the wagon, then no, because
That
you'd be
doesn't
right
mean
outside.
they're here when it happens.
However, you do smell a different kind of alcohol from what you've been smelling around the camp normally, which mainly sticks out to you because you've been paying a little bit more attention to it as you've been going through. For you, it's just oh, there's a drag mark. That's interesting. Kind of sticks out.
I mean, if it leaves a trail, I'm willing to follow it, but you're going inside to try talking to people?
I still think you should follow it.
It leaves a bit of a trail. Ultimately, I'll say you decide before you meaningfully do anything, trying to follow it. You want to check in with Sasha, and you could have found out that Sasha's taking a poll, and you hear that some people are coming back to the camp in a little bit. And
okay, so that means
if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to say that Sasha wants to stick around at least for the people who are going to be coming back soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is where your conversation takes place with the freshly returned lookers, so they're not the only.
And my investigation check didn't discover anything. No one knows anything.
Your investigation check turns up that nobody really knows anything, but there are a couple of people that mention before you hear about the drunken man proper, but they mention it as kind of a side fact that they don't think is important because you're particularly trying to run through.
So there's a drunk guy from Vistani who does come around here.
Well, he goes through the woods.
He goes through the woods, but the woods
by
here.
himself.
Yeah. They see him.
Wait,
He doesn't come into the camp, or so they tell you.
do they
This
know
is their
his
place.
name? Or did they mention his name? Do the people in the camp see him, but do they ever converse with him?
No. When asked further about it, they mention it'd be impossible. Always drunk. It's a wonder that he
He's
can
so
even
drunk,
stand.
They can't talk to him.
Town drunk?
Not at all.
He's Valaki's town drunk, not even this camp's town drunk.
And
That's how
Argo-
bad.
Out of character, none of them know his name.
Well, Argyle is able to contribute that I know him by the name of Bluto, but only through some of the other villagers.
Bluto the drunk.
Bluto as in Popeye Bluto or
Yeah.
Blue Toe?
It's kind of weird, but yeah, it is spelled exactly like
Oh, is it?
that. I was like, oh hey, there it is.
Okay.
But he
How does he survive? He's drunk and he wanders the woods of Barovia as a drunken guy, and no monster can murder this fuck.
Well, he could
It
be
is-
a werewolf.
It is quite astonishing that he has lived as long as he
Amazing.
has.
Or he's a servant of Strahd who has his protection.
Maybe.
I mean,
That,
Strahd has spies everywhere. One of them could easily be a town drunk, someone
That-
no one notices.
that might actually make sense for him.
Well,
not being
Argos was-
murdered.
He could be a
Response.
drunken master and just
Argyle's response was in
I
character.
don't
Was
think-
your bit about him serving Strahd in character?
Oh, no. I was talking entirely out of character.
That's what it sounded like. But it was very...
I mean, that maybe makes sense. Or he's just extremely lucky. I doubt he's a drunken master. I'm just gonna say. I hope not.
Level 10 drunken master monk.
If he was a drunken master, I'd have to wonder why he has fucking levels in the first place. Anyway.
We pay him no mind and he stays out of our way.
But he comes around your village, that doesn't strike you as
Oh no, he does not.
suspicious?
We see him in the woods sometimes, heading up to Lake Zarovich to fish. He doesn't know there haven't been fish there for quite some time. Silly fool.
That doesn't make sense to me. That...
If he was one of the eyes of the master, you would know, right?
Lest he keep it hidden from us, but yes, I would be fairly confident.
Why would
And
you...
as far as you guys know, he is not one of the master's many eyes.
As far as we know, yes.
Why would you go to a lake devoid of fish all the time?
He likely does not know, as he is so staggeringly drunk. And no doubt desperate.
He can't be drunk all the time, can he? And
Yes, he can be drunk all the time.
okay, well,
You would
I
be
suppose.
surprised. It seems to be one of his only talents. Perhaps his only.
Do the people in Vallaki know the lake is devoid of fish, though?
Yes, it's actually a common knowledge. You're travelers, so you would not know. But
So then, how is
there's
he?
there were fish, but recently a strange man has been killing them off with lightning. Something that we know even less about. Though there are many strange things
What
that happen.
kind of douchebag would do that?
A crazy wizard.
Or crazy wizard that has no points into fishing.
I say we
Points into
follow.
fishing isn't a thing, but yeah. whatever.
I say we follow the drag marks, but
Yeah.
also say we go check this fucking lake out with a crazy lightning fishing wizard and a drunk fucking oblivious
And out of
guy.
character.
I feel like he's a spy, but
You heard from the Baron when he was talking about a bunch of things that, like, the lake doesn't have fish recently, but since he didn't mention, like, something that was obviously interesting and a factor to that, you get the impression that's not actually as well known as Arga lets on. Because to him, yes, of course, people know. But
Okay.
maybe not. Maybe not exactly.
Baron might just think it's off season for fish.
Baron might not know that a
well,
wizard did. Supposedly.
Also, a wizard might be doing it to keep people away.
I guess it's their
Or
equivalent
he
of fish.
could be crazy.
Yeah.
Lots of people here are crazy and drunk.
It might be their equivalent of fishing with dynamite. We don't know.
One of the other women contributes, we had thought to perhaps confront such a figure if he was still out there, because any lead would be good, but we could find no trace of him. Perhaps he is perished to the wilderness. It has been a while since we have seen him.
Bluto or the man shooting lightning?
The man.
Bluto. They said Bluto was out there when they were looking. They said they ran into him, didn't they?
So, this is before I finish talking to everyone, right?
It's close to when you're done.
Okay, so, assuming I'm able to talk to everyone once it's done, I will say, it seems as if everyone knows of this drunken man. Although few thought it was necessary to mention. I believe I have convincingly ruled out everyone here, and I would say he is at least my only lead.
I have found
I was-
drag marks. As if somebody was dragging a heavy sack.
Let's check out the drag marks, and we'll check out the drunk guy. Also, it's the drunk guy.
This toy. Where did she get it?
I had one of the men pick it up. It was before Vallaki had closed its gates to us.
Yes,
Back when they knew their place.
How long ago did they close their gates? Like years ago? Because it can't be
He ponders half a year.
half a year. Okay, so it's not.
If you have found drag marks, Greila, have you discovered anything?
They found the drag marks near where the trail I found ended.
The trail implied that she was walking about normally.
Yeah.
Just running did not seem.
She was
I
in trouble
understand.
all the way up until where the tracks end, and then the tracks got muddled by many footprints, and then they found
Can I roll Arcana to determine if there's any sort of spell I know of that could have assisted, basically like erased their tracks, and that could be why the tracks are just suddenly gone.
I'm thinking more somebody picked her up, put her in a sack, and just walked off.
Yeah, but then there would be tracks from that person.
Yeah,
Not
there
if the
might
sack
be.
was behind them.
You can.
We haven't followed the drag mark tracks yet.
Sure.
I'm assuming
Also,
if we,
24.
For what it's worth, there are a lot of footprints around that wagon. If somebody did walk off, it wouldn't be immediately apparent.
okay, but I assume with tracks, if someone is kidnapping someone, what's going to happen is first there'll be drag marks. Eventually, they'll pick up whoever they're kidnapping, and then their footprints will get heavier.
We haven't followed the trail.
We haven't followed it though yet.
This is true.
Curious.
For Sasha's money, there are none of the usual signs of someone magically concealing their tracks. Typically, there are some mistakes or some unfortunate side effects to the erasure of tracks, and you're not seeing it.
Let's follow the tracks, but I'm going to keep up my detect magic anyway.
That makes
This
sense.
spot looks way too clean compared to every other spot.
It's not a stupid thing to ask. I'm just
No. I'm
curious
saying
if there's
that
any
that's
sort of magic.
could be a side effect for a spell.
Alright, you want us to roll survival to follow the tracks, right? I assume.
Uvash, will you be coming with us? If you must stay here, I understand.
His brother, gestures to him, and he looks and says,
His
"I
brother.
will stay here for now."
The short one.
Argyle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
they're
brothers.
related?
They
Oh,
mentioned that.
I must have missed that
Say,
detail.
There are more that are going to return, but once they've all returned, if you're not back, I'll find you.
It's not like we're gonna run off.
Let's go.
You promised to find his daughter. You're on the hook now. At least that's what
I
he
didn't promise
believes.
them.
Good enough.
Crap. It's like, you know me, bitch. I didn't promise you shit. I'm out of here.
Alright, follow the trail.
Alright.
I don't have survival, so I can't.
Or at least do the best you can.
Or do you want perception?
Not
Because I
far
think
as
I
a
might
high
have survival.
perception score, though.
Or are you just
Mm.
looking for survival?
This is going to be survival.
So,
Alright,
what I'm going to be doing is ritually casting detect magic every time it goes down, so that I basically just have it up continuously, so I can pick out any sort of possible magic, anything following us, or just any illusions or anything. Additionally, I'm going to send Sahar up and roll perceptions in a wide area to see if there's any things around. Basically, full alert mode,
Sure.
and that's what I'm going to be doing.
I got a 26 on survival.
Yeah, now.
So yeah.
17, but fucking hell, dude.
Some people roll high.
I rolled high and I added 7 to it, so.
This proves quite fortuitous. As there are tracks, there are signs, but they are rough. It would be very, very, very easy with how wide, because there aren't footprints so much as they're foot drags. And when you start getting closer to the border of the camp, you find leaves and twigs that are broken here and there. You find what would be very easy to make out as animal tracks of some kind. Maybe not something huge like a bear, but definitely this is too rough, too tactless. It couldn't be another human being. But you know.
Are you saying that
Only
the person
one-
tried to disguise
Only
it
one
or
as intimate with the signs of people and animals, specifically animals, moving through the wilderness, could tell the difference between what was a very, 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 very erratic human and some kind of animal.
Yeah.
Furthermore, you pick up the scent of that other kind of alcohol on the wind as you're moving outside the camp, which only becomes more noticeable as you venture out.
Is it like
Into the
Wait,
wilderness.
what's it closer to then? Is it closer to like hard stuff? Is it closer to like meat sweeter?
wait.
It just doesn't smell like the rest of the camp.
Right. It doesn't smell.
Does
like
it
the
smell
shadows,
like
right?
what we drank at the inn? In Valaki?
You know, a little bit.
All right. So we're pretty sure we're following the trail of Bluto.
You are almost positive.
Right.
Actually, no, screw that.
Yeah.
You're positive.
Right. Between
Okay.
the swerving and the.
Between the drunkenness and the wine smell, you're almost positive you're following a stupid drunk human.
Whatever you're following didn't sneak, but was off balance and wobbly enough to be misconstrued as an animal of some
Okay.
kind.
Somebody
But
left
it's
this.
not big enough to be an animal. And you're like, no. You see,
All right.
there's a spirit to the bear tracks and
So-
a spirit to the doe tracks, and this is
Yeah.
neither.
Sasha's pretty sure that Bluto. Why would he kidnap a little girl? Other than
This is loud for a wine
Who
bottle.
knows? But you ruled
I
out
didn't know this was
everybody
going
in
to
this.
turn into D&D SVU, David.
I hope she's still alive, Wario. Please don't. In SVU, the victim is almost always dead.
No, they rescue plenty of
They do.
live children.
Yeah, they rescue them sometimes when like the killer buries them alive or some weird shit. I don't
Someone's
want
going to have to go fucking Christopher Maloney on one of them and just viciously beat them until they tell us. Yeah. So it's going to have to go a little unstabler.
So
Now, as you follow these tracks, it is lucky that you have smell to assist you, because night is falling.
I have dark vision.
Oh, but that doesn't matter. It's night here.
Is the moon bright or because we could light a torch? We need to see the tracks.
wait,
The
I'm being
moon,
led by Sakar, so I don't really care.
Right.
Yeah.
the moon is not as bright as it could be, though that does not deter the howls in the distance.
Alright, well, get ready for werewolf fight.
For the
40
full
minutes
night?
in,
I don't know, man.
You're beset by wolves.
That's alright.
Yeah. Alright.
Fuck it.
These look like wolves or dyers.
They appear much smaller than the wolves that you fought before. These are normal wolves.
Jesus Christ. Well, I rolled high on the survival. That was more important than initiative, I guess, in this case.
Take it!
7.
Join the club. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, I rolled better than that.
I got a 2.
I still have a Portent left, so I'd like to see their initiatives.
How many are you?
18.
We'll have to
6.
Hey!
Not last!
I got a 2.
Yeah, I beat both of you with my 7.
It may provide a small comfort to the group that when they confront these wolves in the dark, they're not very numerous. Only 3.
Oh, that's important.
Hey, they can still wear us down. We need hit points.
And of course,
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's full.
if this fight draws
where there are
something
some
bigger,
wolves, there are no doubt more.
I would say if this fight draws something bigger,
That's wolf 1.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it could have been 9 wolves.
That is wolf
I'm
2.
glad it's
Yeah.
3.
That's wolf 3.
Yeah, fuck it. They
4.
can keep all those.
Okay.
Bluto was the villain in Popeye. Now he's the villain in Strahd.
Maybe.
It's just an unlucky name.
It is Crack's turn first.
I'll talk to Sneakers.
Very well.
Really?
I will do the same.
I was going to do that. Just help me out.
No, you have Jeff. If you go before them, you have advantage.
Yeah.
Your
The enemy
range
hasn't
is-
gone and has a range that means you have advantage on all your attacks.
17 on the first one.
That is it.
+2 for dual. So that should be 6.
7 damage.
You lash out at the wolf for 7 damage. Initially, I am assuming.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
puncher kick on him.
Yeah.
Or puncher towel.
Well, it's unarmed. It can be whatever. He can elbow strike, he can headbutt,
Heck him.
Throw feathers.
you can do a drop kick.
19 on the next.
That is also a hit.
How are you hitting him?
And I guessed.
Doesn't matter.
Headbutt.
Yeah,
tackle
it
him,
matters. How are you hitting him?
and peck him.
Giving description to your attacks is a little more fun.
Fine. I'll claw him. I fucking
You also receive a claw.
So plus 2 again.
It's +4.
It's just +4 because it doesn't apply that round.
Yeah, right.
Even though it totally should.
6 damage.
It's because you don't challenge people to a duel and then punch
And
them.
then I'll.
Yeah, you do. Have you never seen?
No, you shoot them or you stop them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll use a key point, I
Have
guess.
you never watched
Flurry of blows. So.
I.
Fuck you.
11.
to hit?
I believe that's it.
Good.
5 damage. And down key point. So. Look at me.
Raining slash and talon upon the wolf is quickly defeated.
Cool. These are my sneakers.
I thought it was suspicious when like I talked to Snickers.
I need the Snickers. I need it.
Yeah, because I try not to go out of my way to attack candy that I want to look weird. But it's difficult, because it's candy you want, and then there's the candy you don't
there's
want.
nothing wrong with attacking the candy you want. This is fine.
This enemy
Looks
looks
dumb if you like move past other enemies and go, no, but I want this one.
But this enemy looks delicious.
Well, sometimes you can have a reason for it. For instance, it could be a fucking spellcaster.
Yeah, but if you connive it, well, yeah, that's true. That would be that would still.
That's why I have the black licorice one, so I can make all the bosses back. And I'm gonna be like, nah.
I'll sneak back the bosses for you. I'll just let you know.
I know people disliked black licorice that much.
It is not good.
It doesn't taste good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not to me. That shit tastes worse than cough syrup. So
I think it's large.
I think it's entirely accurate. That's literally what I compare it to when I eat it. I'm like, even cough medicine.
Ah. I know. I don't like it. It's candy. They make it. People like it.
The wolves don't take kindly to this, and still attack. One of them advancing fearlessly upon Greila, unfortunately missing, or at least unfortunately for it. The other wolf advances and is unafraid of Siguror's size, chomps out, and hits. Unfortunately, biting down and dealing 7 damage. It then becomes Sasha's turn.
Okay. Sahar will attempt the 8 action on this one. I will count some magic words and call up a mystic flame. And cast firebolt at that wolf. 27 hit?
It does.
Well. Good.
I don't know why he can.
You got it.
Well, so doesn't the 20 automatically do? Or crits?
I still like it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, spells can't crit.
No, they can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh!
If they require an attack roll, they can only crit, and I deal 16 fire damage to the Reese's.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh yeah, because you do melee spells, right. That
The
would
Curse
be
of
dumb.
Wolf is scarred by flame.
Insert this. I will burn it. And yeah, that's my turn.
As the smell of burning fur wafts into the noses and beaks of current company, it becomes Siguror's turn.
Get the mutt that bit me. And, yeah. Yeah, I still have all 3 charges, and it's night, so I will expend a rage. And why not?
I think it will soon be over. Alright.
I still have all 3, and if we lay down camp at any point at night.
I don't intend to stop.
24 to hit.
As it?
He's 3.
I think I'll use it now.
Nice.
10, 15 for damage.
You slam into the mutt that bit into you, harming it significantly.
I will also, attempt to use hammering horns on it to try and shove it this way, so then it won't circle around to other people or have a harder time.
Very well.
Yeah. Strength saving throw.
What's the DC?
And it's supposed to be 14, wasn't it?
8, 10, 15.
It does not. It is successfully min-handled.
That's 2 squares, right?
Up 10 feet, and
Now it's 5.
was it talked about that if I can
You
use
stop
5
that.
and knock it prone? No, it can only knock it prone if I knock it into someone or something.
You can knock it prone, but you don't knock it back at
Right. I'll knock it back instead.
If you so desire. Ismark moves into action.
Yeah, I guess.
Almost. He swings. Unfortunately, he misses.
Useless.
He's trying.
I'm joking.
We don't know their bonuses. They might have equal a chance to hit to us. I mean, I don't think he has 20 strength. But...
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
Irina-
The lesser if he had 20 strength.
Chooses not to move out, but prepares to help. I will say Siguror, because you go not close, but like close-ish.
Oh, the aid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said prepares to help, and then moves back around to crack.
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Go
great.
skate me.
Moves back around to crack, and that'll teach you. It is not. And,
Don't give the GM
it's
list.
Graila's turn.
Both of them are pretty. Oh, I'm only gonna attack the race in front of me.
Actually, no, you haven't gone yet.
Yeah.
The fucking.
I-
Irina actually prepares to help Greila.
Okay. I'm
That makes more
gonna
sense.
use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh, and I'm gonna attempt to smack this bitch of a wolf. Does 18 hit.
It does.
Okay. 13 damage then.
Greila strikes it and defeats it, forcing it to crumple into a heap. Then it does in fact move back around to crack.
Have enough movement to get down to 10. This 10 hit.
No.
Alright, let's do a fist. Town, whatever. 19 again.
Cool.
6 damage.
The first one is a miss, but the second one manages to find furry purchase as you fell the final of the wolves.
Really?
For now.
Oh, he did.
I'm pretty sure it was almost dead.
Yeah.
Which leaves the way free for you to continue.
Yeah.
Under the cover of darkness, more things will come for us. We should attempt to keep unnoticed. Basically, I'm going to suggest we start making stealth checks now.
Alright.
Because it's going to be a lot harder to catch up to Blue Rat for being assaulted by werewolves.
That is a fair argument.
21 on my stealth check.
Nice.
You know, I really wish I didn't roll with disadvantage because I rolled 20. But,
Oh.
Well,
You're doing your best.
yeah.
But your feet are too heavy.
what'd you
No, I'm
guys?
wearing armor.
26.
Yeah.
That's pretty snappy.
Oh, wow. You guys are just all the fuck ups. Well, hopefully Irina and Ismark can.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a group, it's just more successes than failures, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got 7,
1.
2. Okay, 1.
Yeah, I get no bonus.
Okay, so 1, 7, 21, 26.
While Irina has a bit of trouble, Ismark does not.
Good on him.
How well heard you are throughout the forest will remain to be seen.
Try to hide, jump into the bushes. Yeah, I'm stealth. Horn sticking out. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing to see.
Oh, it could be that shiny.
Hey everyone, I'm dumb as hell.
I did find
It's
that funny
11.
when you did that,
Well,
David.
I was making the doctor weird joke.
I like the shaman that
It could
sneak
be.
up on us.
It could be. You never know.
The revengeance mount.
As you move through the dark, life teems around you. However, what becomes most relevant once you start getting closer to the lake, your objective, the air gets colder, and on the horizon, quickly approaching, you see it, dancing almost a ball of light that warps and twists as if in the wind, but with a will of its own. It starts racing towards you.
Huh.
So is this just a floating ball of light, or is it like someone running with a lantern?
Well, these remind
It
me.
appears to be some kind of twisting mass of light, and as it gets closer, you see that there's no other person around it. It's
Okay.
definitely not a lantern. It's even semi-transparent.
Can I roll?
This thing reminds me of
Arcana?
something from home.
You may.
And they are not cool.
Does it remind you of
God.
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora
I
Borealis.
got a 9, David.
It's a low roll, but you're from here, so if you want to get advantage on that,
Oh, okay, cool.
why not?
This creature is
9. rolled 2 both times.
Hey, get them out of the way.
You've heard of these, you know it's an enemy.
Yeah.
The name escapes you at the moment.
Okay. Out of character, I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but in character, I clearly
And
being
also,
dumb.
for what it's worth, its initiative roll was a 15. If you can.
21 on my initiative.
18.
12.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got an 8 and a 1.
Nice.
What about you?
3.
And I
Dope
more meant
initiatives,
about
guys.
I more meant like your portents and stuff. Like if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it in this case. I only have 1 port left and no luckies, so we'll save that port for if I get hit, probably.
Was it? There's like a meme about halflings where it's like they pick up something that says a 2 and they're like, "This is useless to me," and throw it away. You know, because they can reroll one.
Yeah, I've seen that meme. That's great. I'm assuming I go first.
Boy, do you. Just give me a moment. Maybe even give me a few moments. Maybe give me some clicks, some likes, maybe a subscribe.
Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Just break
Follow
your
me on
computer
Twitter and
hitting that like
Instagram
button.
and
Smack the shit out of that bell.
hit that bell if you'd like to be notified. Whatever.
Nah, man.
Oh.
YouTubers, you gotta tell people to. Not suggest it.
Actually, you don't.
But,
The thing goes first.
damn!
Even with
With the Jesus Christ, I got a 21.
Yeah, I thought it'd be safe to
And it
assume
rolled
you
a
go first,
15.
too.
Oh fuck. Okay.
It was not safe.
Oh boy.
Wow. All right. That is
This is kind of dangerous.
crazy.
I might as well have rolled a 1.
Yeah, I know, right? But I rolled a 19. I might as well fucking.
Seems kind of dangerous. Huh. Well, alright.
Well, it has a high initiative. That doesn't mean it's dangerous.
It's
Yeah.
fast, though as light as it is on the wind, perhaps that should be no surprise.
Yeah, I guess Tiny Servant does get a +5 to Dex. So,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
with a +5, I'm gonna go first. It has to have some sort of non-dex initiative bonus,
yeah.
which is possible.
The light on the wind glides quickly in the direction of Siguror, and Siguror can almost hear the distant whisper of an uncle he lost on the wind as it does so.
Oh fuck, it's gonna try and pull me.
Just to be sure, Siguror's AC is currently 15.
Yes.
But whatever it attempts, you do not wish to stick around for, as you manage to evade it, or rather, it misses. It then becomes Sasha's.
Okay. I will conjure bolts of mystic force. I cast magic missile. Damage as I will count. Insert this Polkar Imperial and cast 3 bolts into it. It's force damage, 11. Attempting to ward away whatever this thing is.
Question: if something has damage resistance to force, does it reduce the damage for each bolt?
Almost no, and basically
Almost
nothing in the game has force resistance.
Okay, no, I was just wondering if those counted as separate instances of damage.
No, they don't count as
The
Okay. Alright.
The bolts fire into this swirling mass, and while it moans and groans with voices unfamiliar to you, perhaps a little familiar to you, Siguror, it does appear to be partially dispersed. It hurt it, and significantly.
Cool.
However, it is hanging on for the moment. It is now Graila's turn.
I'll continue my thing of casting Shillelagh and trying to hit it. Figure this. Does a 19 hit it?
I believe so, but I'm going to check. While pretending it's not, which you've all probably deduced. And, yes, it does.
9 damage. It's magical damage. He's had resistance.
It is assaulted by Graila's magical prowess, well, divine magical prowess, and is harmed yet further. It's slowly becoming sparse twinkles, hovering within centimeters of each other. It's almost on its way up, but you feel like not quite yet. It then becomes Crack's turn.
Move me up behind
You must be facing this way, because your other friends are this way.
19.
That is it.
10 damage.
Alright. You assault it, and this proves to be enough. Though you do feel as if your strike is less effective, what little bits were holding it together proved to not be enough for this strike.
Yes, did the most damage.
In an alien, in a tongue that is alien to you, this, whatever it is, whispers its last. However, to Siguror, he hears a rather stirring recount of a sunrise that he believed he shared with a warrior that's no longer with him.
What is this thing?
Out of
Hope
character, I'm
that
pretty
wasn't
sure
like
it's
a
like a will-o'-the-wisp or something.
I'm hoping it wasn't like a spirit that was trying to help but has roll initiative because we mistook it as aggressive.
Mm-mm. It was clearly darting towards you like aggressive.
Oh, okay.
If it were just kind of wavering or whatever, then you
Well, he
would have
described
been
it
able to
as
do
an
something.
attack.
Alright.
Definitely would have been tragic if that were the case, but rest your fears. Rest your fears for now.
Why? No! Yeah.
We gotta keep going. We gotta get Bluto.
Owls howl, which is a little weird in and of itself.
Where else?
Wolves growl. There's the distant caw here and there.
I really thought he was gonna say
Some type of
What
crow.
is, are there any remains of this creature, or does it just disperse in modes of life?
I just disperses. Whatever.
I will
Which
say,
to you, you're like, yeah.
how unusual. I'm not familiar with this sort of thing. But it was clearly aggressive, so we should move on.
You continue to be joined in the night by many other sounds and creatures. Though these ones, for now, mind their own business.
Oh, we better kill 4 fucking things.
In a forest, that's probably not a huge number.
In the face of the darkness of Strahd, it is a trifling victory.
Here's the thing.
But a victory nonetheless.
Yeah. Either this drunk is a servant of Strahd and has his protection.
Or he's the wizard with the lightning!
I don't think he's a wizard. But regardless, when we reach him, or actually, if he's just a drunk, something could easily kill him and then the girl if he has it, right? Before you can get to him.
Well, the girl isn't in it, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Must not be a normal drunk if he survived out here this
Yeah,
long.
that's my suspicion. I don't want to get up there and be like...
A little less than another hour brings you to the foot of a mountain. Nestled in the misty forest that you've traveled through is a large lake. The water is perfectly still. Dark, save for the reflection of the moon in the sky. The water, what parts of it are illuminated, reflect the dark clouds overhead that surround the moon. almost like a dark spotlight.
And we don't see Bluto around?
Still describing.
It takes. I wasn't. But
Chip. Sorry.
it takes a little bit of squinting. You see, like there are some rowboats that are like overturned on like the lake's shore. But scanning the horizon, you do eventually spot what appears to be a small boat and someone in it.
Oh, let's get a closer look at that.
We gotta get him before he gets out.
Well, we gotta
Like-
sneak up.
Well, he's on the lake.
Yeah, he's in the middle.
Oh, he's in the middle?
Maybe not like in the middle, but he's out like a decent ways on the lake.
I will send Sahar out to get a closer look at what's going on.
Sure.
We should probably sneak up instead of just charge down.
I can't sneak.
Once
I
we
don't
get
have
into
the
a
armor
boat,
and it's a
he's
lake.
gonna. Once we get into a boat, he's gonna know we're coming regardless.
The rest of you
Unless
can
you plan on flying out to the lake.
the rest of you can decide whether or not you want to try to sneak up on him or just row out there. I figure Sahar won't attract too much attention,
No.
so it's more of
Yeah, that's why I'm
Whatever.
sending Sahar out there first.
How
which,
far?
by the way, Sahar is very, very strongly hit with the smell of booze as Sahar goes out farther and farther
Fair
to the lake.
This man is always so drunk, just being around him gets you drunk.
So,
It could be stronger.
how far out is he from the shore of the lake? If we shout, will he hear us?
He should.
Well, he doesn't know where his
He's
enemy
definitely within shouting distance.
is. Okay.
When I send Sahar out to look, is he the only one in the boat?
He is. Are you sharing senses, or is Sahar going to come back and like tell you? It changed how you describe
I have telepathy with Sahar, so he can keep me updated as he's looking.
Then Sahar informs Sasha that he is the only one in the boat. However, there is a large sack with him in the boat that occasionally moves.
Okay.
Is he holding anything else?
He's holding a fishing pole,
That's
leaned over it, murmuring to himself unintelligible gibberish.
I thought you were going to say like a crate.
I was saying he has the sack with him. He is fishing. Once we get onto the water, he'll know we're coming regardless.
Can any of you swim?
None
Not
of us have
swim in a lake that is electrified by a crazy wizard. But if you wish to try it, that is more power to you.
How far out is he though?
Does magic stay within water when it's casted on it?
No, but electricity will for a ways.
Decently far. Like, maybe 50 feet or so.
That's not that bad.
He's in, but the lake's pretty big. He's not, like, super far out. Far enough that sneaking up on him will be a little difficult, depending on how out of it you think he is.
Does anybody happen to have like a hook?
I can fly out there if I want. Because I'm a bot. No.
Well, I mean, would that be bad?
No, it wouldn't be bad. I can only do it once a day, but I haven't done it yet so far.
Well, if anybody has like a hook thing, or actually, javelin.
A hook,
Is he-
like, to grab the boat with?
Tie it to rope, and try and hook the boat.
It'd be pretty hard from the shore.
Is it more than 120 feet out?
It's about 50.
Okay.
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
still
looked
within-
up the research.
it's only 50 feet away from the shore?
About.
Okay, then I will go 50 feet.
I don't know how strong you have to be to throw a hook. How far?
Well, if it's the same as a
Top of my
javelin,
head.
a javelin is 30 to 120 feet.
It's probably a little more complicated than that.
No, I can actually reach him.
I'm gonna cast. I'll cast Shillelagh on my weapon.
I'm just looking up a specific thing real quick.
As a preparation.
Because I heard you, and I am interested.
Because my thing was going to be,
Throw a javelin into a boat and pull him back by it?
if we pierce the boat enough that water starts pouring in, most people would want
The
to.
girl is in a sack. She will not be able to swim. She'll definitely drown.
Yeah.
Boats do not just instantly sink.
You would still attack a boat with a child in it. That is a very dangerous idea. I think it is better to talk to the man and get him to come back safely.
Right.
To not injure the child. Yes, well, I'm talking in character. I assumed you were.
Yes. It is a tactic. If you want somebody to come to shore and they do not want to, pierce the boat and say you will drown if you do not come to the land.
We don't even know if he wants to come to the land or not.
If he's fishing, he's probably not expecting visitors.
He may row away from us. We should try tact first before violence.
Violence can be tactful.
Violence, by definition, is not tactful.
For what it's worth, if he is as drunk as the accounts say, it is possible the tact may not work.
I'm gonna
Especially if he was mumbling incoherently.
I don't want to attack the boat.
take my arm
This
off
is a fair concern.
in case I have to swim after the girl if the boat goes down for some fucking crazy reason, or he throws her overboard or anything.
Well, that was another thing.
Well, it
start
is
pulling it in.
funny
It's like,
that you bring that up. Out of curiosity, do you have Sahar like hovering, or like did Sahar check it out and like go back?
He's above looking down.
Okay, so he's still there.
Yeah.
As you are making preparations to confront him either tactfully or not tactfully, Sahar updates you rather frantically that the man has begun to move.
I will take over Sahar's perceptions.
You're able to take over, and other people can turn pretty easily because it's
I
kind
can
of
see
noticeable.
him.
There's like some sloshing as the man gets up and clumsily picks up the sack and tosses it into the lake.
Okay, I am going to. I'll activate my
And then
thing.
takes
to
his
grow my
fishing
wings.
pole, plots it, and seems to wait for something.
Are you
He's using
fucking
her as
serious?
bait.
Is he sacrificing
Wait.
her for fishing?
Well, the fishing pole isn't actually in the water, which
Yeah,
is the weird
okay.
thing.
Oh,
So he
There might be
throws.
something.
He throws her.
in
He's
it.
throwing her over the thing, right?
Yes.
I, as a reaction, want to cast Featherfall. That'll slow her descent to the ground and hopefully into the water, because Featherfall affects gravity, so she'll sink slower. Well, will she sink slower into the water if Featherfall's on her?
I don't see why not.
Then I will cast Featherfall to slow her descent into the water and buy Greila enough time
I'm
to
going-
fly over there.
I'm
and
going to
fucking
grow
grab
my
her.
wings. They're bright, light wings, and
Very
I'm going
radiant,
to dash.
very noticeable.
I'm going to dash out there and try to snatch the girl up. If she's in the air, then out of the air. But if not, then I'll go under the water after her.
Because if your wings are light,
Well, if she's slowed enough from Featherfall, you
You're
should
gonna
be able
have to
grab
go
her.
into the water.
That's fine.
because you just
I'll go under
push
the
her
water
over.
then.
However, on the check to get her out of the water, I will give you advantage because she is featherfalled.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's a sweet strength check you got right there.
shut up.
Well,
yeah,
I'll
whatever.
also take athletics.
Wings or not, I'm still diving
Yeah, I'm
into
not
that water.
proficient in
I'm
that.
running to the water if we weren't at the shore.
7.
Well, you can. Yeah.
David. I'm gonna go down with this girl at 7.
You're gonna do your best.
Yeah.
What is everybody else doing in the meantime?
I guess right now. How much is Moon cut by?
Is it half?
Doesn't.
You have to make an athletics check, and it's cut in half.
I want to check for you to like make it in time. Like whether or not you'll get out there, yeah, sure, and she's falling slower.
Well,
okay.
I'm not going in there.
Is
I'm
it,
trying to think of something I could do.
Still in athletic?
How
Yeah.
far
Yeah,
down
something
is
is
the lake? Yeah, okay, that's
Oh, well,
a silly question.
Pretty
I mean,
hard.
maybe you've heard of the lake and know of the lake?
Anybody who wants to try and help
Oh,
grab the child or grab the child will need to make a check to get there in good time.
Motherfucker doesn't listen to me. Okay.
I should have.
And I'll go ahead and give advantage to anybody who tries because she's still falling slower, like regardless. Not to make it too easy.
You guys should be able to see generally where we are because my wings and
If
my
you're right
eyes.
above it, yeah.
My wings and my eyes glow when I do this, so like I'm casting light from under the fucking water.
I got 17 on athletics.
25?
You shoot over and, to your horror, feel like this was not good to fly and then dive. You wasted too much time. But as you feel you're not going to be fast enough, you see a couple of your other comrades racing through the water. One much faster than the other. You go straight up what Beowulf probably told those people about a swimming match, even though it turned out to not be true. Just whoosh through the water. You're really
He still
graceful.
moves at half speed.
You're really graceful.
So that's still at least a turn.
You're pretty strong.
I mean, I specifically took the dash action. I can fly 30 feet normally, so that's 60 out there. To
The
girl.
water is chilling, though it matters not to either of you as you race through the water. Siguror turns out to be the one who reaches the bag first, but whether or not that means too late will only be told once you resurface. You resurface, I assume, immediately. You're not
I'm
swimming
going to
back
try.
to shore first.
Oh, hell no. That's stupid.
And the bag is now like kicking and wriggling quite a lot as you like drag it through the water. Crack is a little ways behind, so like any difficulty that you might have had like pulling it is lessened.
Knife.
Eventually you were able to like hoist this bag above the water.
So they got her, right?
Yes.
I'm going to come back out of the water and onto the boat with the dude
Well,
because he's not living.
Okay.
You don't even know what's in the bag yet.
We know what's in the bag.
We assume what's in the bag. That's a difference. While we
I don't
know.
care. I just assumed he attempted to murder a little
land
girl.
on the boat to a very muted response. The Blue are like, "Ugh."
I'm gonna kick him into the water.
Don't you?
He is kicked quite easily into the water. Ugh, ugh. And he like starts like.
I'm
How
gonna roll.
sluggish is he?
I'm gonna roll the boat away from him.
Barely. Like he starts to sink as
Wait.
it's like slowly
Wait.
kinda.
David, how, like, is he moving weirdly slowly, like not just drunk? Can I roll Arcana to tell if he's under the domination effect of a vampire?
It's kind of hard to tell from here, but you can use the facts that you've picked up about him along the way to make an educated guess.
Educated enough to have advantage?
No. It's just educated. Meanwhile, you hoist the bag. You ask for a knife. Does Crack have a knife, or maybe his talents that he could use?
Yeah, I do not.
Not just use talents.
Sure.
I got a 12.
Fucking rip the bag
Great
open.
use of inspiration. Roll the same thing. Last two
If
times I
any-
rolled advantage, I rolled the same fucking thing.
Like, you don't think so?
Okay.
The guy.
He's not sure.
Oh, I guess it doesn't make sense. Difference.
Greila has a front row seat to him as he begins drowning, basically. Like
I'm
he's
gonna roll the
he's
boat away from
I will
him.
flying.
yell and I will say, we need to know why. Do not let him die.
Oh my
What is wrong with you?
fucking god. Fine. I'll go back.
Well, you
and get
have
him.
your choice. You don't have to. I
No.
am curious because I'm under the impression that you are playing a good character.
I am a good character, but he just attempted to murder a girl. I don't have to be nice to him. But
Well, that-
I will go back so
that can be up to you as you use your talons to rip the bag and out kind of spills, but like you grab. You got control. A little girl is like coughing and sputtering and waterlogged, though not as waterlogged as she could be.
There we go. We know it's a little girl.
I will go back
Satisfying.
and get the guy. We'll take him back to the father. He's gonna whip that boy to death. I'd like to see what he'll do to him.
You start rowing away, but are chastised by
Your companion.
I'll say not just Sasha. Ismark is not super keen on just letting him die, but doesn't object nearly as hard as Irina does from the shore.
Fine. God, all you whiny people. I'm just joking though.
You're just gonna drown a man?
He was gonna do it to the little girl. It seemed
He might not be in control of himself.
okay. That might not have occurred to me, but still.
He might.
And at the very least, Sasha's curious as to why he wanted to drown a little girl.
Because
Because
you
what?
now have a coughing.
You don't know?
he's
have
out
a
here to
coughing little girl.
fish.
I'm gonna
Apparently.
start just fucking doing the one-armed keeper above, basically rescue swimming. Is just keep them above water and just slowly start swimming backwards.
Right. And worst case scenario, you've got Crack like right there to help out.
I'll pull the
You
idiot
just don't
onto
have
the
a
boat and
board
run
or
back to
anything
the
to
shore.
float her on.
He's pretty heavy. I would like a
All right.
strength check from you.
If I see you,
Nice.
Yeah, no.
if I see you struggling,
Did you fucking kill this guy?
No.
I got a
People don't
I
drown
got a
immediately.
total of a 0, David.
You could have guided yourself, couldn't you?
That
You,
Yeah, no.
you stop. You offer your hand, and then when he's kind of missing it, if I may assume, you like deliberately grab onto him, maybe
Okay.
thinking this is better than you deserve, but we're going ahead anyway.
Okay.
And as you pull, it's almost
Apparently
as
not.
if the lake wants him. Like that's the resistance you feel.
Oh,
Maybe one of you should turn around and go help.
If we notice, do we notice that?
can I try again?
You do.
Are they gonna reach me before I try again, or?
You're doing your best, but it's not great. You may try again.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to let us know you're struggling?
I got the same thing, and I'll say, this drunk idiot is heavier than he looks.
Maybe you should not have kicked him into the lake then.
And
It
even
was a
worse,
hasty action.
And-
Okay, I
and
didn't
even
think about
worse.
it that much.
and even worse, he's throwing his weight in like weird ways.
Oh,
Not
Crack, go
deliberately,
save him.
but he is drunk.
Or, yeah, if you hand crack.
Girl.
Okay.
Can I?
Siguror
No, I don't want to use the oar. That
You do
idiot
your
might
best,
actually
but
pull it out
you
of the
do
boat.
lose grip of him,
Okay.
Ow.
and he starts to
Fucking-
sink.
I
Siguror.
will
That's
cast
a
light
good
on
one.
him, not so like people can see him as he goes to drop.
Well, me.
You cast light on
Just
him,
had to kick him into the fucking
which
lake.
makes him
Very
makes him
luminous.
easier to find at the very least.
Swimming down.
Hey,
Well, since it was dark and now it's light, does that do anything for the roll, or is it just still a roll?
It's a roll, but it's really a lot easier.
Okay.
The main reason for the roll is like if you're on the shore and you're all like, oh no, but like you're already out here.
Was still.
This is more just I really just more want strength from you
Okay, just
to get him. Period.
Okay.
I thought
He's a
Crack
big
was
guy.
going after him. Aren't you already holding the girl?
No, he
Or did
handed
you
the
hand
girl
him
to
off?
Crack.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, if I reached him first, then I feel I can probably get him again. 20.
He's heavy, but you've helped heavier people to their beds after drinking. You're able to grab him. It's gonna take a while, so Crack's definitely gonna reach the shore first.
Boy, I
When
swear.
Crack reaches the shore, I'm gonna take the child from him and set her down onto the shore.
Eventually, the shore is reached.
Oh, no.
I'll fly back. I'm just gonna leave the boat. Fuck it. I don't care about it. It's a rowboat.
That's right, you started rowing it away instead of just flying.
Yeah, well, I needed the boat to move so it wasn't within grasp if I was gonna drown on it.
No.
Okay.
The
so
little
just-
girl
okay,
is somewhat disoriented and like doesn't move immediately, but she is looking about, trying to make sense of where she is. More than likely, it's a healthy 10 minutes before Siguror reaches the shore with Bluto. A healthy 10 minutes before Siguror makes it to the shore and is able to place down a very waterlogged.
Oh no, I'm not setting him down. Fucking cough up the water.
Throws
Dick.
down a very waterlogged Bluto,
See?
who lands with a thud and
Mine
looks
was going
around
straight.
a little and then leans over and coughs up some water and then sits back
Hard
up.
Smack in the back.
No.
Just
And then he like starts like rubbing his back. He's like, ugh.
Alright,
Let-
your father sent me to find you. We're going to take you back to him, okay? I'll hand you
Okay. Okay.
her
Her doll.
doll.
Her bunny.
She like grabs onto it.
Her bun bun.
I'll
Do any of you have a blanket or anything to throw under her?
I mean, we have stuff in our starting kit. Usually, they come with a blanket or a bedroll.
Yeah, I have a blanket, I think.
I have a bedroll.
Whatever, I'll wrap her in a blanket and before turning to Bluto, and I will tell Ismark, keep an eye on her, right? And then I will say to Bluto, what were you doing with this girl? Why did you throw her in the lake?
Fish.
If
I
I
know
cast,
medicine to tell what's wrong with him, other than
You don't need to.
Really
He's drunk.
He's
right.
He
but
is.
drunk doesn't mean you take a girl and throw her in the lake.
Normal drunk, absolutely not.
this is the super special drunk.
Okay,
This
actually,
This is
I
is
have-
drunk
I
as a
have an
lifestyle.
I have alchemy kit and medicine. Can I give him something that'll sober him up?
You can give him something that will make him better, because again, this is drunk as a lifestyle. Like, not so much like, oh man, I'm so hammered, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, so I think there's something wrong with his head?
yeah. And as a result, you can still do what you want to make his head clearer.
Right, but he's probably
Not gonna be
like brain damaged a little bit.
You're probably not going to get a well-reasoned talking response from him, no matter what you do.
Okay,
But
just-
you can get
but
something
I will,
intelligible.
Okay, then yeah, I'll give him the thing to clear his head.
All right, that's gonna take a bit,
I am fucking
Like maybe
hog tying him.
a few minutes. You
And
roll
I'll
him
say-
over, and he doesn't really resist. He kind of.
How long has the girl been missing, by the way?
Since
Just
it's
since
mid-afternoon, I
this
think.
morning or afternoon.
Since morning, so it's been about a day.
I'll give her a little bit of my ration.
But didn't one of the elves say they saw her in the middle of the day?
Midday. Yeah.
That's why I said midday, because I thought one of the dusk elves said midday.
Someone that hadn't seen her for a while longer said something,
Huh.
or perhaps that person was mistaken.
Okay.
She eyes Crack curiously, and then once Crack makes it like clear that he's offering food,
I'll say eat.
she gingerly like takes it and doesn't like eat at first. Like, she kind of looks over it a little bit and like bites in and kind of but then it takes a couple more seconds and she just continues.
Just eat a while.
Where am I?
Lake Barovia.
I think
I thought it had a different name.
Or
Do you have
Lake
the sea?
Zarovich, right? Yeah. Lake Zarovich.
How do you think is the safest way to get back? Should we try and avoid notice, or should we?
Yes.
Yeah, so sneaking, no light casting or any of that stuff. I got you.
After a couple of minutes, you're able to like put together like a kind of rough serum.
Right.
It's gonna be hard with Trunky here.
I think I have something for that.
I mean, getting back without notice.
Well, Siguror can get it. Once I give him the serum, how much of an effect does it seem to have?
Once you're able to finagle it into his mouth, more or less, which takes some rolling, you definitely see like a change in his expression. It did something, but there's no way to really tell.
Pluto, what were you doing with this girl? Why did you throw her in the lake?
Don't you know? Vistani are lucky. I wanted to sacrifice her to the lake god and get fish.
Okay,
By,
yeah.
by booze.
He's gonzo.
Lake god. What? Lake god.
So you kidnapped this girl and thought to sacrifice her to the lake god?
Yeah.
There is no lake god.
How do you know? Who are you?
Here's Vistani.
There are no fish in this lake. It doesn't matter who you would have sacrificed or what you would have done. There are no fish. You would have murdered this child for nothing.
A man with lightning has killed them all.
You didn't have to tell. Okay, yeah.
Man, huh? Well, worth a try. Better than staying sober.
No, it wasn't worth a try.
You think
You
it's
nearly
worth...
killed this girl. If we were not here, she would have died. You think that just because she is Vistani, her life does not matter? She has a father.
And I am thirsty.
You're not getting any alcohol where you're going.
Wait.
For a long, long time.
Huh?
So I hope... What did you expect to happen? You just attempted to murder someone.
How do you keep finding...
It's almost as if he notices you for the first time.
How do you keep finding booze? Your town is low in stock.
It's hard. Ovic cut me off. Need money.
Oh my.
Ran after Tab.
Not that much.
He's gone. Don't bother.
Let's just take him back. We should get out of
If
here.
we give him to the Vistani, they will kill him.
I don't...
If we take him to the town,
The
they might
Vistani
let...
were gonna kill that guard when this guy kidnapped the child.
Do you think he's like this way by choice? Do you think the people in these towns, in this place, have any choice?
I don't think they have a choice, but they're still responsible for their actions.
They are driven to this by Strahd.
And
There is
remember
nothing
why
they
you
could do
started
but
drinking?
drink.
they don't have to drink, they choose to drink. And he didn't have
Drink.
to kidnap
You
this
are
child.
not from here. You do not know what it is like.
That's
Day
true.
and day, the people drink, and they are afraid, and they hurt each other. You think Vallaki is the only place like that?
No, I don't think that Vallaki
Ismark
like that.
contributes. There are many people that suffer, but not many who turn to murdering children.
It sounds like you are defending him.
He is defending him.
While I
What
don't
he did is
condone the
horrible.
execution,
He should not be executed, like Ismark says.
If we take him to Vallaki, they may reduce his sentence due to the person he was trying to kill was Vistani.
Then we do not take him to Vallaki either.
truthfully, I
would
had
you-
mixed feelings about getting involved with this to begin with.
What do you
But-
want to do then?
A missing child is hard to ignore. I'm just saying, I would not absolve him completely for simply living in these lands. There are others that manage better than him.
That is true.
Though whom to take him to for punishment, well, that I don't know.
I still say the Vistani are the ones he wronged. They're the ones who should judge him. You can argue for
If you
reduce-
want him to die, you should have left him in the lake.
Then where do you propose we do? Then what do you propose? Bleh. Bleh. Then what do you propose we do? Leave him here, tied as he is, see if he survives the night?
Ismark says, no,
He's death by another way.
it would make more sense to take him back to the Vistani because those are whom he has wronged. Though it does not sit completely right with me.
He was
Irina shares, and nor me. This is a grave crime, but death, it seems too harsh. I don't know where.
Two people could have died because of what this guy did. He was gonna murder a child, and that guard was gonna get killed. Him dying is not
Justice? But
I
it's
don't know
not
if
justice as I know it.
I said
It would be
you
a
could
fitting
argue
punishment.
for him.
I merely blame my own squeamishness for my hesitation.
I
don't think it's...
The Vistani
Well, I don't
will
know.
owe us. You can always ask them
Siguror,
to spare
our
him.
God is the God of justice, not the God of executioners. He should not die for a mistake.
No, but he needs to prove himself that his mistake can be corrected by trial.
He is in no state to perform trials.
I am not saying that we need to let them execute them, but they're the ones who need to mete out justice. They're the ones that were wrong.
And you will stop the Vistani when they go down and attempt to kill him?
I'd argue on his behalf. It's their choice, though. It's not our choice. At this point. I mean, initially it was...
It is our
Right.
choice because right now he is in our custody. What we decide to do with him determines his fate. And if we bring him back to the Vistani, we are killing him.
You sound like you have an idea then.
I am not saying I have an idea.
Either we leave him out here...
Or then you wish
We
him to
take
be a
him
tag along. And we feed him and carry him around.
I don't want to travel with this man.
We can take him to Vallaki. Seek him justice there.
Out of character, yeah, that is an option.
That's
It's
what
boring-
that's what he wants to do.
boring
If he takes this guy back to the Vistani, he's basically dead.
Yeah, probably. Barring extreme intervention.
Maybe a
You've-
bit more fairly judged there.
You've all
I don't think so.
established, as you've all brought up, that the two big options on the table, the only two options seemingly, are to keep him and take him to Vallaki, or give him back to the Vistani. There's an argument to be made that giving him back to the Vistani is just because he wronged them, though contributing to someone's execution doesn't sit well with everybody. Alternatively, you can take him to Vallaki, and who knows? Maybe they'll celebrate him as a hero. Maybe they'll just pay him no mind.
Okay.
Maybe someone will try him if you,
If
I don't know, convince them.
If
could
we
talk
take
to the
him back
Baron.
to Vallaki and they do punish him, they'll put him in the stocks, and someone already died there of starvation and lack of water, which is probably...
Maybe the stocks are not their only punishment. Ismark, does Vallaki have a jail?
Why would Ismark know?
I am uncertain.
Talking to
I
the
don't
Baron,
know.
do they have a prison that isn't just for followers or suspected followers of Strahd?
He didn't mention a prison. What's more, Blooded probably isn't going to be seen as a crime by
No.
the Baron.
Right, but he's not the only person in Vallaki.
If he goes...
He's the law in Vallaki, though.
Oh, and everybody he rules with that iron
Okay,
fist.
well, Ismark is the burgomaster of Barovia, right?
Yeah.
So if we brought him back to Barovia, Ismark could put him in prison, right?
That is over a week.
This is
travel.
And when brought up, Ismark says, "Yes, I suppose that is true."
Alright, then arrest this man. He has committed a crime and he deserves to have fair punishment for it. Would you execute him?
I'm not certain. Execution feels right, but I don't want to be the one to do it. I'm fine with arresting him in any case.
So
It
we're
feels deceptive to keep him from the Vistani, but I am willing to follow along with your judgment.
and also abduct him from his town.
We didn't abduct him from his town.
We are.
Not exactly.
If we're taking him
Well,
to Barovia.
Yes, that... If we take him to Barovia,
Perhaps-
Which is a week's travel.
perhaps returning their child will suffice as far as justice to them. The
Yes.
Vistani, I mean.
That
He
is-
teaches us that a punishment must meet its crime. Attempted
This-
murder is not met with murder.
Take
It is
his
sometimes.
child.
You
Got it.
Well, okay.
No.
You want arrest. Ismark is willing to defer to that, obviously. Irina is also willing to defer to what you guys decide.
Right, but she doesn't want him to die. Like, she made it pretty clear.
Well, yeah, there is also that.
Whereas
What about the other 3 of you?
I don't want to be an escort service for literally somebody that would just be a target in a fight.
I don't really want to take him back to Barovia. That's too far away.
The festival is in a few days.
Well,
Barovia is about more than a week's travel.
We don't have to take him back ourselves. There are caravans that go between the towns, right?
Caravans aren't escort services for prisoners.
Are there not people who travel between the towns?
The people who deliver wine and the Vistani.
Really? Okay, well...
Give or take, like, the odd bold person, but it's pretty dangerous lands.
Huh.
You could probably find somebody, but as far as caravans go... So you might be able to seek some
We can
help
still
with that.
argue on his behalf if we give him back to the Vistani.
Behalf of what?
On not killing him, they might lock him up instead of executing him.
They might not have a jail
There
or anything to
is-
lock people up.
Probably.
Zero chance
I'm hearing...
that
well,
Luvosh will not kill this guy.
He'll
is-
all-
but convincing other people.
If you were not Vistani, I would kill you. The surface thought.
Yeah.
I'm hearing she want to take back the Vistani, which I feel, obviously, arrest, get him to Barovia, either through seeking help with a different caravan to take him back, or yourselves, I guess, worst case scenario. What about Siguror and Crack?
We could try the caravan thing. I am not escorting him all the way back to Barovia. Or would you have mentioned the caravan stuff in character, or is this all just out of character stuff?
We have to.
I assume it's in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dip in and out right now.
We have to do something with him in the meantime anyway, so if we do try to take him back to Barovia, we have to put him somewhere, and we can't exactly bring a bound man back into the city.
We can split up into 2 groups.
And do what?
Have 2 people take him directly back to Vallaki, while 2 of us take
I
the
just said
girl
we can't
back
take him through Valaki's gates, tied up and bound. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Meh.
He's one
That
of their
depends on
citizens.
adventurer shenanigans.
This man.
How
Ismark
you
can
bring-
say, "This man is my prisoner. I'm the burgomaster of
How you bring him with you is something that will get decided once the choice is made, and you'll handle it as it comes. Right now, it's arrest him, have Ismark arrest him, and get him to Barovia somehow. Take him to Vallaki and put his justice on Vallaki, or bring him back to the Vistani. Whichever one you agree with, pick it, and that'll be the deal.
No, we can escort him back. I don't see the reason why we have to protect him though.
That's the point of an escort.
So you're down with him being sent back to Barovia somehow?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have to protect him. If we take him back in the caravan,
Right.
or whatever,
Well, yeah, but he's
The why
asking
and
your
how
decision
is
between
fine.
the 3.
I say we take him back ourselves. I don't trust a caravan.
That's 2. That's 1. I'm going to use the NPCs as a tiebreaker because they do have opinions, but I scale them back a little bit for when you guys are doing stuff because they want to defer to you. But if their absolute choices are needed, they will pitch in.
Right,
So don't be afraid of tie-breaking or tying it, but don't tie it just so you don't have to decide.
If we can't get him back to Barovia, which, whatever, fine with trying.
He's asking between the 3
Yeah.
choices.
We'll handle eventualities if something fails or not fails, but right now it's between the 3.
Should go to the Vistani, but no fair trial would be had.
Why don't we?
Caravan to Barovia would.
Why don't we ask Arabelle what she wants done?
She is a 7-year-old. You do not. Why would you place his
You
life in her
could.
hands?
Yeah, you
She
could.
is a-
She is a 7-year-old, but he did try to kill her.
That is what. She's 7.
Yeah, I know.
You also usually do not ask the victim. Well, no.
The
Do you
victim.
have a
Like,
decision? Because this is
Yeah.
taking a long time.
Barovia, fine. Vlacky won't do anything.
Okay. Then the ultimate decision has been made to somehow, some way, get him back to Barovia.
Pansies. All of you.
What god do you
But
want?
now,
My God is the God of justice. He
My
wants
God
to
is
see
the God of
justice
nature.
done, not revenge.
It's not revenge.
It is revenge. It's an eye for an eye, literally.
No, it's
They're
not.
gonna kill him.
They are still alive. He hasn't actually killed
Hey.
anyone.
Attempted
For right
murder is
now-
not murder.
second question, more easily decided. Are you going to head back right now, or are you going to stop?
Do we want to travel through the night again?
Well, they said if that they're gonna come find us if we don't get back before everyone else gets back. So we need to head back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the girl back. Crack, did you want to bring the girl back with me, and these two can bring the guy to
Where would you
Vlacky
keep him?
with Ismark and maybe Irina, depending on whether she wants to come with us or go with them. But yeah.
Oh,
Because our official story is that's going to be he's the prisoner of Ismark, so you two go with them and I'll take Crack to back me up.
Sure.
Sounds like a planned event over any.
all right.
Once we will meet with you back in Vistani once we are about to go back to the Vistani. Ismark, if you can try to find someone who's willing to take this man to Barovia and imprison him on your behalf, that would be best.
How do we know this guy doesn't have friends that'll try and take him and just release him later?
Well,
There's
he's-
only one way to find out.
Yeah.
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 There will be a bit of travel where you will be together before the road
Okay.
proper splits.
Okay, being
And
Are you
then
gonna
you
at
will
least tell
proper
the
split.
Vistani what happened?
because she's definitely
Are you
not
asking in character?
Yes.
I will say yes.
Okay.
But we will stay together, then split up, and then come back together next time. This has been another crusade against the darkness. This time, successful. Next time, we'll see.
Absolute failure.
different type of darkness.
If you could start sending us off.
Yeah, so that was something. I enjoyed the session. Glad we managed to save her from drowning. And I'm looking forward to returning the girl to her father and smoothing things over with the Vistani.
I am not happy because my party are a bunch of pansies, but I'm glad we saved the girl. But Pluto deserves to be judged.
Bluto.
Pluto.
He's not a dog.
Yeah.
Session was fine. Good we saved the girl. I'm just not so sure someone else is gonna take him to that town.
I did enjoy the session. I am just hoping, depending on what happens, that we do not have to change Arabelle's name to Meepo, but I don't care that much about Pluto. If that were the case.
Understandable. I am Artist David Harper on Twitter and Instagram. We have over here.
Oh yeah. You can find me on Lights Camera Initiative on Twitter, where I speak for everyone 100% of the
Yeah.
time.
No.
You don't? Do you have a Twitter?
I do.
Oh well, are you gonna plug your Twitter?
No.
No, then I speak for you on Twitter. No,
I
don't.
don't.
Yes, I do.
Snap. You got to rise to meet the challenge. We'll see how that goes. But for the meantime, bye.
Bye.
No.